sports hub.
This is Boston Bruins hockey, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V, available at your local New England Honda dealers. The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over, the Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, Bosch Tools, Hub International New England, McGovern Auto Group, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
From the SAP Center in San Jose, California, it's Boston Bruins hockey as tonight the Bruins' Western road trip continues as they face off against the San Jose Sharks. Great to have you with us alongside Bob Beers. I'm Ryan Johnston. Thanks for staying up late with us once again. The road trip began on Thursday night with the Bruins suffering their 4th straight loss, 5-1 at the hands of the Vegas Golden Knights. That game remaining scoreless until almost midway through the second period before the Golden Knights offense took over. Joe Sacco says 4 losses in a row. You have to just continue to battle every night.
We have to make sure that whatever comes our way, that we stick with it, and we embrace whatever the challenge that's in front of us. So, I mean, we just have to keep playing in certain situations.
Yeah, look, they're still mathematically in it, and as a player and as a coach, you approach every game to win. We talked about this prior to the Vegas game, even though you're a little bit outmatched. You look down at the lineup and, top to bottom compared to your top to bottom, you're a little outmatched. Not so today. You're against a team that's rebuilding and has some high draft picks that are in their lineup. It's a team that's completely different from what they were at the beginning of the year, especially on the defensive side of things and in net. But you have an opportunity today to go out and win a hockey game and feel a little bit better about yourself here moving forward, and then, you figure out where things are. I mean, realistically, you've lost 12 out of 15 games, and you're still in it, which is crazy, right? Because some of the other teams around you haven't done a whole lot. And, they've had their winning streaks. Now they've had their losing streaks, and that's been kind of the case all year long. So you're still kind of mathematically in it. Realistically, probably not. But, you go out and win a game today, you feel a little bit better about yourself because you got back-to-backs. You got a game tomorrow against a good L.A. Kings team. But opportunity here today against San Jose, and let's see what the Bruins got. I mean, see what they have. Why not? You go out, you put on the uniform to win. And if you're a coaching staff, just talking to the coaches over the last couple of days away from the rink, they still believe, and they have to believe. That's their job. You have to believe in the guys that are going out there, and you're looking at guys in the locker room, you're looking at guys next to you saying, yeah, we believe we can make this thing. Then why not? Why not us?
And that's what Morgan Geekie said as well. He said, despite the fact that, as you said, they've lost 12 out of 15, but he said that has not impacted the effort level in the locker room one bit.
I don't think there's a question about the fight in here. I think it's just we've got to understand the position we're in and try not to lose sight of the end goal. I know it's hard. We're trying to take it one game at a time, but, we're all working for the same goal. And I believe in this group in here, and I know everybody believes in it as well. So, I don't think the fight ever left. I wouldn't put too much weight on the goal as to how we finish the game, but it's just something we've got to, learn from, try to take the things we can use next game and go into San Jose and use the strengths that we had tonight.
Yeah, don't look back too much, right, on things that have kind of happened here. And over the last couple of days, they lose to Vegas. They're right in that game for a while, right? It's 1-0 on a power play goal. It was a late goal in the second period. An avoidable goal. It was a face-off play after an ice. It's just there's certain things that happen in games that really against when you're not an elite team. Those things come back to hurt you, and they come back to bite you. And the Bruins can't outscore some of those mistakes. We know that. We've talked about that. It's up to them to be stingy defensively and to win a game 2-1 or 3-2, and that should be their goal here tonight. How you defend, how you play in that direction. Up front, you want guys to be able to contribute offensively, but you're limited up there. You know, you've got one line that can definitely score. You've got a couple other guys that can chip in here and there. You're hoping Lysell, who gets in the lineup, we're going to talk about him in a minute, can contribute offensively, but they are limited offensively, and we know that. So how do you win games? And that's goaltending and defense.
Yeah, and Joe Sacco, you know, when he talked to the media this morning, he said, you know, he's been proud of the way his team has continued to compete.
Well, I mean, you know, we're struggling to get some wins, but what I like about the way we're playing is there's been no quit in our group. You know, even last game against Vegas, it wasn't the second half of the game that we wanted. They're a good team. They're an elite team. They pushed hard in the second half of the game. We fell behind, but there's no quit. Even in games before, prior to that game, the guys have always shown a willingness to fight to the end, and I think that's the biggest quality right now that I like from what I've seen from the group.
Yeah, that's partially true, but at the same time, Vegas is a team that just wears you down.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a big team. They come with 4 lines. They can score on all, you know, their top 3 lines, and some they can chip in on their 4th line. Their D gets involved, but they're going to wear you down, and they're built for the playoffs. They're built to win now, and you know the Bruins are going through a different kind of transition right now than Vegas is. So. That's why I say it's tonight here when you set up this game against the San Jose Sharks, you've got some high-end talent to be. They're not quite there yet, and some younger players and some local guys as well. So you know, good opportunity for them to continue to move forward. They're looking at this game as one that they expect to win on home ice against a Bruins team that's struggling right now. But at the same time, they know that they're probably a couple years away from really, truly contending in the playoffs.
Some Bruins roster news today. Joe Sacco revealing this morning Mark Kastelik flew back to Boston. He's dealing with an upper body injury and is expected to miss the rest of this road trip. That opens up a spot in the lineup for Fabian Lysell, who will play his second NHL game tonight, skating on a line with Elias Lindholm and Marat Husnudinov. Lysell spoke this morning about how he'll approach tonight's game.
You know, try to be myself out there. If there's a passing lane, I'll try to find guys open, or if I have a shooting opportunity, I'm just going to try to rip it and see where it goes and take it from there. Trying to play simple at start.
Yeah, for Lysell, he got the one game at the TD Garden, right? His first game, and I thought he did okay in that game. You know, he's been a little underwhelming in the American Hockey League. I mean, there's no disputing that. But now an opportunity to come up here and, you know, show what he can do. You know, with Kastelik going back home, he's going to get an opportunity. He's going to get a good look, right? And he plays alongside Lindholm, you know, so an offensive type of role. You're not going to put him in a 4th line role. You're going to put him in an offensive type of role. We'll see what kind of role he uses, like in power play situations. There weren't a lot of those the other day. But for him, you know, as a first-round pick, as a guy that can utilize some of his speed. He's got a playmaker kind of mentality that he talks about. You can't be just another guy, right? I want to see what you can do and show that you deserve another look here as we move forward. There's a good opportunity for not only him, but some of the guys that were brought in to show what they can do here over the last stretch. You know, when you're looking for a chance to play next year. There's going to be turnover. There's going to be changes. There's going to be different guys coming in. There's going to be different looks. But if you prove that you can play and you can be part of this thing moving forward, you know, this is the time to be able to do it.
It'll be another chance for defenseman Michael Callahan. He's expected to rest tonight as well, replacing Ian Mitchell in the lineup. Callahan played 11 games during his call-up from Providence in January and February. Jonas Korpisalo will get the start between the pipes tonight for the Bruins. Tonight's storylines brought to you by your Boston area Chevrolet dealers. Get a closer look at Chevy's award-winning lineup at your New England Chevy dealer. Find exciting offers on the powerful Silverado and feature-packed all-new Equinox. Coming up here on the Bruins pregame show, we'll go around the NHL, including the St. Louis Blues red hot.
Walker to Foxa. Man in front, score! There's your 4th line, Joe.
We'll hear more from Joe Sacco about tonight's matchup.
For us, if we're diligent with the puck, if we're making, you know, smart decisions with it and creating more zone time and holding on to pucks more in the offensive zone, it should work in our favor.
And we'll talk about tonight's opponent, the San Jose Sharks.
A back-skating Burns shoots it, save made, rebound, Stankoven, a point-blank chance, and that's a terrific save.
That's all coming up here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Okay, I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Go to IQBAR.com and enter code AUDIO to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Blake puts it back. Aho, the shot, score! Sebastian Aho on a give and go with Jackson Blake. And what a rocket that was from the high slot. It's 2-1 Carolina.
Back here in San Jose, where the Bruins will take on the rebuilding Sharks. They've won just 18 of their 69 games so far this season, fewest wins of any team in the league. But the Sharks are building through the draft. They're a young team. 14 players on their current roster are 25 or younger. Head coach Ryan Warsofsky hopes to see continued growth during the final month of the season.
You know, I think we're seeing, I thought Muck was outstanding tonight, so I think we've seen some real growth over these last 2-3 weeks since what the Four Nations break there. And we hope that as guys continue to play, the Giles, Chucky, you know, Cags while he's here, continue to improve, and that's all we can do.
Yeah, they're definitely a team in transition, I guess we'd put it that way. I mean, you look at this lineup from the start of the season, neither goaltender that started the season is here.
Right. 5
of the 6 defensemen that are dressing for today's game were not here in that opening night lineup. So, yeah, a lot of turnover, right? You've got Celebrini and Smith. They're going to get the most headlines up front, but you've got some other players as well that they're trying out, and this is a good opportunity for auditions for a number of people to see if they're, you know, are they going to be the guys that you want moving forward? You know, you've got draft picks, you've got players within their systems, or system, I should say, in the American Hockey League. It's called the Barracuda. It's right here in San Jose. Right. So they've got some good players in that system. Now, are they ready to make the step or the jump to the NHL? That's what they're here to determine. It's, you know, they're kind of, it's a fun team to kind of watch because you've got some high-end skill up front for them. You know, you've got some kind of wild cards on defense, and, you know, can they make that jump to the NHL on an everyday basis? It'd be a good test for the Bruins, but it'd be a very different test than it was the other day against Vegas. Vegas, you knew they were dialed in. They've lost a couple games. They were coming back home. They weren't going to roll over. They were going to be ready to play, and it certainly showed. This will be a different test for the Bruins. You know, I think this is a better matchup for some of the Bruins players to kind of come into this game and to show what they can do.
Yeah, the Sharks enter this one having lost 5 out of their last 6. They're on an 8-game homestand. This is game number 6 out of 8 straight here on home ice. But their last outing was a 3-1 loss to Carolina on Thursday. A game William Eklund said there was some self-inflicted wounds.
I think we had some turnovers in bad spots that was led to their goals, and other turnovers by the blue line that we can't do. And we got to think, we got to look at that and see what we can do better next game.
Yeah, Eklund is a good player. He's playing alongside Celebrini and Smith. It's the first time this season that they're playing together. They've played together in games, but it's the first time they're starting a game together. So, this is the three guys that they're kind of trying to build around. I mean, Toffoli has his goals. He's a little older, and he's been a good role model for some of the younger players. But it's a team where it's similar with the Bruins. When you make some of those mistakes, the puck seems to end up in the back of the net. And the Bruins were able to kind of, for years now, have been able to kind of withstand that, where you make a couple mistakes here and there, it's fine, but you can outscore that a little bit. The Bruins haven't been able to do that. San Jose certainly cannot do that, and that's an area that they're looking to clean up.
Bruins and Sharks coming up. Coming up next, we're going to check out the Sports Hub headlines with Jeremy Conley, and then we're back to go around the NHL next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit-pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidants C and E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
Ben hadn't had a decent night's sleep in a month. So, during one of his restless nights, he booked a package trip abroad on Expedia. When he arrived at his beachside hotel, he discovered a miraculous bed slung between two trees and fell into the best sleep of his life. You were made to be rechargeable. We were made to package flights and hotels and hammocks for less. Expedia, made to travel.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins and Sharks getting ready for puck drop in about 20 minutes. Around the league is a very busy day. Ryan and Bob will take you around the NHL in just a few minutes. Celtics were off today. They are in Portland to take on the Trailblazers tomorrow. That game at 6 o'clock. And finally, in the NCAA tournament, big upset. John Calipari and the 10-seed Arkansas defeated Rick Pitino's 2-seeded St. John's 75-66. I'm Jeremy Conley. Ryan and Bob will take you around the NHL next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between, it's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Bruins in San Jose coming up. Let's go around the NHL and some of the action from earlier today. The Rangers had just 12 shots on goal, but beat Vancouver 5-3.
Here's Lafreniere down the left side. Back out for a shot. Score! Brodzinski with his second. And the Rangers go back on top.
Rangers hanging in there. It's an unbelievable race right now, really. I mean, they had lost 3 games in a row. They win here today. The Islanders are still in it. The Canadiens are still in it. Ottawa's still in it, even though they've lost 2 in a row. This is, it's coming right down to it. And you still have Detroit, Columbus, I guess the Bruins mathematically, obviously, but there's teams that are still in it. But for the Rangers, big win today after they've lost 3.
Dallas Stars with a 3-2 overtime win over Philly today.
So we go to OT. The Flyers win the draw back, but a foot race as Robertson goes to challenge. And the Stars with the puck in front. Score! Over immediately!
Yeah, 92 points here for the Dallas Stars after that win here today. They'll easily end up over 100 after 69 games played. Dallas Stars really, they loaded up at the deadline. They're on a collision course, though, with the Colorado Avalanche. It's going to be a tough one.
Just 9 seconds it took to score that overtime game winner. Wild beat the Sabres today 4-1. The St. Louis Blues 12-2-2 in their last 16 beat the Blackhawks this afternoon.
Walker to Foxa. Man in front, score! There's your fourth line, Joe. Toropchenko puts it in.
St. Louis has won 5 in a row. Second wild card spot right now. They're just behind Minnesota. 4 points behind Minnesota, but what a run that Jimmy Montgomery's had there with the St. Louis Blues.
Calgary Flames a 4-3 victory in overtime over the Islanders today. We'll see the Kings coming up tomorrow. They beat the Hurricanes today 7-2.
Byfield speeds in. Byfield shoots. Save is made. Rebound. In front. Score! Byfield from Fiala. 6-0.
That's some of the action from today around the NHL. We'll talk with Joe Sacco coming up next here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub, Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
At Hotels.com, we know some travelers crave sand between their toes. Others want to be poolside with a drink on the way. And more often than not, those two people end up in a relationship. With the Hotels.com app, compare properties side by side across amenities like pool and ocean view. Compromise isn't so bad when you're holding a Mai Tai by a pool with an ocean view, agreeing that, yeah, this is better than finding sand in awkward places for 3 days. Book now in the Hotels.com app and find your perfect somewhere.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant CNE, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Our pregame interview with Joe Sacco is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Well, you guys get ready to take on the San Jose Sharks tonight. Going back to Thursday night's loss in Vegas, you hung with them pretty well there for a while before they kind of pulled away. Did you take any positives out of that game?
At the start of the game, I thought that we played well enough in the first period, and then I think that's important because you want to make sure that you're ready to play games. So that was one positive. There's things that we obviously were not happy with during the course of a game when you go down in that situation, the way we did. But, I think when you look at the start, ready to play against an elite team, I think those are all positives. But we got to find a way. Having said that, we have to find a way to make sure that we stick with it. Like sometimes when if it's, and I don't mean by giving up because we certainly don't, but just stick with the program as far as how we play. Stay on the same page, stay connected all over the ice. Sometimes you get down a few goals and you have a young team. Players want to start to do sometimes their own thing, and that doesn't work in this league.
How do you go about generating more shots, more scoring opportunities? I know that's been an issue for you guys for a while now.
Well, it's a mindset. Number one, I think if you look back last game, there was probably 4 or 5 grade A opportunities that we had, and we looked to pass instead of shoot. So that's one thing. First off, it's a mindset, and then secondly, it's getting to the inside. I think anytime you play a team like, for example, Vegas, who defends the slot well, you have to work for your offense. You have to create offense inside the dots. And it's not easy, right? Teams do a good job defending. But I would say those two things, a mindset for the shots and willingness to get inside.
Is it a similar thing? You're looking at your numbers. I think you guys have 5 power play opportunities in the last 4 games total. Is that kind of part and parcel with what you're talking about?
No, this definitely is. I think that when you don't get inside, you don't draw penalties. If you're on the outside, you're not going to draw as many penalties. Once you get into the interior of the ice and you get to the net, that's where most of the penalties are taken.
So you guys have a couple of guys coming into the lineup who are up from Providence tonight, Fabian Lysell. Let's talk about him for a second. Got a chance to see him briefly earlier this year. What do you think he can add to this team?
Well, hopefully some offense. I think that's, what his niche is going to be. I'm not saying he has to come in and score every game, but provide some offense, some pace, some energy in our lineup. Again, like everyone else that we ask of to be responsible away from the puck. But he's going to play with Lindholm and Kusti to start the game tonight. It's going to be a line that can generate some offensive zone time for us, create some scoring chances for us, and be good defensively.
And on the back end, Callahan, who got a little bit of a longer run with you guys not that long ago. What did you like about his game while he was up here?
Just steady. I think, he's like a steady Eddie out there. You pretty much know what you're going to get from Callie. most nights. He's a defensive player first. Move the puck efficiently, though. Execute your breakout plays. Like, that's the one thing. Handling the pressure against breakouts is going to be, something that he's going to continue to build in his game.
Jonas Korpisalo will start for you guys in goal tonight. Can you talk a little bit about how he's filled his role this year? And it's not an easy one, given that he hasn't had a lot of playing time playing behind Jeremy Swayman this season. So how do you feel like he's done start to finish this season?
I think he's handled it very well. I think that when he's been called upon, when his number's been called on, he's come in and given us quality starts for the most part. And I think that's all you can ask of a guy in that situation. He prepares himself. It's not easy when you're not playing, maybe every other game or every 3 games sometimes. So Jonas has been a really good pro for us. He's been an excellent teammate. And I think when you look at the way he's played, he's done everything that's been asked of him.
All right, you guys get the San Jose Sharks tonight. What's your scouting report on them? What kind of game do you expect this will be?
Well, they're an energy team. They're young, right? They play with a lot of enthusiasm. They skate well, like most young teams do. They have good legs. But for us, it's about how we manage this game. It's about how we manage the puck. Are we going to make them defend more or let them get on the attack more, right? That's got to be our mindset, is playing behind them and making them defend, because they're a team that's going to want to counter and play that, transition game. And so for us, if we're diligent with the puck, if we're making, smart decisions with it and creating more zone time and holding on to pucks more in the offensive zone, it should work in our favor.
All right, Joe, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Okay, thanks.
Coach Joe Sacco, Bruins take on the San Jose Sharks coming up next.
This was not the way the Bruins were looking to start their road trip.
Dorofeyev shoots and scores. There's a 3-on-1 here for Vegas. Out moving in, left circle, shoots and scores. Hannafin with a one-timer that partially blocked, made it through to Swayman, the rebound, and they score. And it's Dorofeyev's going to get the hat trick.
With the Vegas loss behind them, the Bruins come to San Jose to face a young and hungry Sharks team looking to build toward next season. It's the Bruins and the Sharks coming up next.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Cross to Esposito, shot. Cam Neely. Nathan Horton wins Game 7 in overtime. David Pasternak wins the series for the Bruins. A chance in front, score, and it's Geeky again.
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Night Train, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Safety Insurance, Peerless Boilers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Backhand, it'll save Thomas. Swayman made a great stop at the far post.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Back to Orr. Put in. Backhand score on a penalty shot for Raymond Gordon. David Pasternak calls game, and the Bruins win it 2-1. Bergeron, and the Bruins win the series.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
And we're in San Jose for the second meeting of the year between the Bruins and the Sharks, two teams that are hungry for a victory tonight. How do the Bruins make sure it's them?
Yeah, San Jose comes in with 18 wins. That's the fewest in the NHL this season. Chicago has 20. The Bruins have 30. So, different situations, but not really, right? Both teams kind of in a little bit of a retool, rebuild type of thing. San Jose definitely in trying to build their team up. The Bruins trying to do it on the fly. But you've got a couple of teams here definitely hungry for wins, as you said, Ryan. I think from the Bruins standpoint, it's about, I don't know if they've got a team that can wear you down, but it's a team that they've been challenged recently. Shots on goal, quality scoring chances, that type of thing. This is a team you can get them on. And it's up to the Bruins to be able to impose their will a little bit against San Jose here today to be able to do that. Sharks played okay against the Bruins. The Bruins actually had a really solid game against the Sharks back at TD Garden. The Sharks hung in there, but the Bruins were the better team. See if they can do that again here today.
Today's keys to the game brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Opening face-off coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidants C and E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5 thesportshub.com.
Bruins and the San Jose Sharks getting ready to drop the puck. Before they do, let's get tonight's national anthem.
Early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Getting set for the opening face-off here between the Sharks and the Bruins. We take a look at our starting lineups here tonight. In goal for the San Jose Sharks is Alexander Georgiev. On defense, Mario Ferraro and Shakir Mukhamadullin. Did I get that right, Ryan?
You did.
I
Nailed
did.
it.
All right.
First time.
Colin Graff up front with Alexander Wenberg and Tyler Toffoli. For the Bruins, it's Jonas Korpisalo in net. In on-defense, pairing Nikita Zadorov and Henry Jokiharju. Up front, Morgan Geekie, Pavel Zacha, David Pastrnak. Starting lineups are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SportsHub. That's code SportsHub for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
First 5 minutes of tonight's game brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Tonight's New England Ford dealers' first 5 contestant of the game is Diane DeChambeau of Bedford, New Hampshire. If the Bruins score in the first 5 minutes, Diane will win a pair of tickets for a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. Enter the contest at 985thesportshub.com. Bruins on the road here in San Jose will go from right to left and on offense in this first period as the puck gets dumped into the Boston zone right off the bat. Pastrnak gets a feed off the far board. Zadorov will turn it up ice. Geekie to the right side for Zacha. Played it across ice into the near corner, and Sharks looking to get it right back out of the zone. Unable to find the handle on it was Mukhamadullin. It'll be pushed back in across the blue line, and Geekie sets it up along the near boards. Zadorov down along the hash marks. trying to find it in a crowd, and does. Wraps it around and behind the net to the far side. Lorai just inside the blue line, played it back down the wall, but kicked out toward the line, and now it will volley back toward the Boston Blue as Zadorov gives it there for Lorai and heads off at a change. Pasternak near the San Jose blue line gets turned back, gives it a peek, and from the red line he'll drive it in. Georgiev walked out behind the net, couldn't knock it off the dasher. Cole Koepke in the right wing corner will send it back in behind, but it's taken by Liljegren, and he finds Will Smith breaking out of the zone. Pass out through neutral ice, missed Macklin Celebrini, and that will be an icing here early against San Jose. Just 1:07 gone in this first period.
Yeah, curious to watch Celebrini and Smith and Eklund here together today. It's the first time that they've been put together. I mean, this is the future for them, right? I mean, we know that, and you know, along with a couple of defensemen, you talk to people around San Jose. You know, goaltending-wise, they'll probably have. Is it Askarov or Askarov? How are we pronouncing
Askarov,
it?
yeah.
Askarov played against the Bruins last time. He's not here right now, and he's an adventure, but he came over in a trade from the Nashville Predators, and they expect him to be the goaltender of the future moving forward. So they've got some, you know, they'll be continuing to make changes here as they go forward.
Yeah, they've used 5 different goaltenders this season. 38 different skaters have dressed for this team as well, which is second most in the league. As that puck gets shot wide of Georgiev.
It pales in comparison to 1992 for the Bruins.
How many?
55.
Well, the Colorado Avalanche have used 41 skaters this year, and obviously are still very much in the hunt for the Stanley Cup. As the puck goes behind the net, Delandria will push it up ice.
55, and we swept the Canadians in the playoffs.
On the left wing side, it's Giles here for the Sharks. Puck taken off his stick.
And made it to the conference finals.
Not bad. Up back into the neutral ice. Delandria will push it back into the Sharks'
Losing
attack
to
zone.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh eventually won the cup.
Cross ice pass is picked off by Fabian Lysell. He'll skate it up into neutral ice, chips it ahead, and then gets ridden to the boards in front of the San Jose bench and turns and goes for a change. Lysell called up for the trip, dressing tonight with Mark Kastelik being sent back home with an upper body injury. Just his second NHL appearance for Lysell.
He was pretty good in his first one, especially early.
Beecher gives to Zadorov. Zadorov trying to feather one out into neutral ice for Patrick Brown. That was knocked back. Comes across the ice, and far side it'll be Mario Ferraro, UMass product, playing into the Bruins zone.
Boy, his name was mentioned a lot around the trade deadline.
Oh, we got a fight. Jacob Lauko's going to drop the gloves here out at the blue line. Barclay Goodrow. As they lock up, Goodrow lands a right that pops Lauko's helmet off, and they're throwing some heavy shots. Lauko's got his jersey pulled up over his head, and now the linesmen are going to stop this before it goes any further.
Goodrow's, he's not a heavyweight, but he's as tough as they come, pound for pound. Not sure what led to this, if it was something that's happened in the past, or both guys trying to get their teams going. You know, the Bruins losing last game, losing 12 of 15. San Jose struggling a little bit here, so that's a possibility, but interesting dance partners, right? Goodrow's up. It looked like Lauko challenged him.
Yeah, they came together between the benches. And
Goodrow's like, really? I mean, Lauko's, he's been physical since he's come back to the Bruins. He was physical before he left the Bruins. That was his MO, energy, physical. Goodrow, like pound for pound, a pretty tough guy. Not the biggest guy,
right?
But certainly game.
Came over, of course,
that was
over the offseason.
Head scratcher for the Rangers.
Rangers put him on waivers. Ended up here in San Jose. Puck gets wrapped around the Bruins zone here. Toffoli will get it back deep. Taking off the far wall, back to the point. Shot blocked. Pasternak.
There were a lot of people wondering what the circumstances were around that whole trade with Goodrow.
There's been a lot that's happened in New York this year that's had people wondering about the circumstances.
Certainly Jacob Trouba.
Here's Toffoli back into the Boston zone. Sent it over to the left side for Ferraro, and his shot never made it to the net. Hit a leg. Out neutral ice. Pasternak will kick it to Zaka. Zaka moving down the left circle, but puck just out of his reach, and Liljegren sends it back toward the Boston zone. No icing as Zadorov goes back to retreat.
That was a late no icing, huh?
Yeah. Zadorov going to carry it all the way through neutral ice. Cuts to the left side. Down the circle he goes, and around behind the net. He passes off into the far corner for Koepke. Pushed it back along the end wall. Lettieri in that far corner as they dig for it to a side. Koepke comes free with it. Puck comes bouncing free, and a chance for Middlestat. Gets turned aside by Georgiev.
Good opportunity for Middlestat. That puck, he was able to take it off the skate and get it up to his stick.
Middlestat sent it across to Jokiharju from the center of the blue line. His shot got blocked off the leg of Eklund. In the far corner, Middlestat now pressed up against the boards. Puck pulled loose by Carlson. Kicked at by Koepke along that far circle. He's got it and gets it back to Jokiharju at the point. Walks it toward the middle and then back to the far side. Dumped back into the near corner now by Koepke. At the back of the Sharks net. Puck comes popping loose, far circle, and Koepke with a shot. And that one sticked aside.
Good save by Georgiev with the right pad.
Will Smith will get it across the Boston line, but his pass into the corner taken away by Callahan, who pushed it back out to center. Cross ice pass angles into the Boston zone, right to Jokiharju. Just over 5 minutes gone here in the first period. No score. Puck brought through neutral ice by Lysell, and he gets hauled down coming into the Shark zone.
Good speed, right? Good movement coming out of their own zone for the Bruins, right through the neutral zone. Get that speed coming right up the middle of the ice, and then Lysell makes the first guy miss and then draws the penalty.
So they'll get Dellandrea for hooking. And the Bruins will get the first power play of this game. It's brought to you by Bosch Power Tools, engineered for efficiency, comfort, and ease. Bosch Power Tools are built to keep workers going at full strength. Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve.
If that was a penalty against the Bruins, I would say that the player went down pretty easily. And I'm going to say the same thing. Lysell went down pretty easily, even though the stick was in there.
Felt that stick along the hip, and down he went. 5:11 gone here in the first period. Bruins go to the power play. We talked about that with Joe Sacco in our pregame interview, needing to force the issue and draw some more penalties.
Yeah, it's hard to do when you don't have the puck.
Yeah, exactly. That comes out of the zone through neutral ice, and Lori will come back to retrieve here.
Should have the puck plenty tonight. It's a different kind of game. Much different team.
Pastrnak brings to his own blue line. Pass up the middle. Lindholm had it knocked free. And off the far glass and out of the attack zone all the way back down toward Korpisalo. Minute and a half to go on the man advantage. Lori will skate it up toward his own blue line. Got harassed by Giles. Pastrnak ends up with the puck, carries across the line. Here's Middlestat, top of the left circle to Pastrnak with his back to the net.
Tried to make the backhand pass to Geekie in front. He was open.
Now a takeaway, and Giles will lead the Sharks up ice here shorthanded. Lindholm is back. Pastrnak coming back as well. And the Bruins will regain the puck. Pastrnak skates it out toward the red line along the near boards. Played into the middle, but taken away. And back come the Sharks. Carlson throws one toward Korpisalo. Stick that aside. Rebound grab, though, and thrown back toward the net by Graf. And it's directed up and out of play in the Bruins zone with 48 to go in the power play.
Nothing doing on this power play here for the Bruins. Just trying to get into the zone has been a challenge for them. They've tried a couple different ways. Lori made a little bit of an errant pass trying to come up as he was bothered instead of making the drop pass or the delay play coming up the ice. And then Pastrnak trying to make a play into the middle that didn't work. David Pastrnak has more points than anybody in the NHL since January 1. On a team that's challenged to score.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 42 points in his last 26 games. Lysell joins this second power play unit here with Zaka, Husnadinov, Jokiharju, and Lettieri. Zaka will wrap it around toward the far wall.
Well, we said this, the second power play unit last game. You know, who would have had this group being out there together? And then you add Lysell to it now.
Here's Jokiharju at the right point. Flips it across for Lysell. Steps to the top of the left circle. Pass across, got blocked. Kicked out toward the blue line and just out of the zone. 10 seconds to go in the man advantage. Jokiharju feeds Zaka coming through the neutral zone. He'll lift it down into the right wing corner. Puck gets wrapped up the wall, and the power play comes to an end with Dellandrea coming out of the box. Here's Lysell stepping to the top of the circle. Shot blocked and kicked out of the zone. Jokiharju hustling over to get it ahead of Dellandrea. And the Bruins settle back inside their own zone with 12:35 to go here in the first period. No score. Shots are 2 aside so far. Pass up the far wing, directed deep in behind Georgiev, who comes out to play it. Around the near wall. Taken and brought out of the zone by Celebrini. Dumped into the Boston zone. Angling out of the corner right out in front of the net. But Andrew Peeke got there first.
I thought that would have been icing.
Gave him the benefit of the doubt there. Close enough to the red line, I guess. Zadorov along the end wall. Pressured by Smith. Helped to force a turnover. Fired in front off of Eklund, who was coming through the slot. Near side corner. And it's Zadorov. His cross ice pass. Bounced away off of Eklund. Sharks looking to reload. They're going to get called offside. So we'll take our first break with 11:48 to go here in the first period. No score between the Bruins and Sharks here in San Jose on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
The first 5 minutes of tonight's game were brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Start your 2025 in a new F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 straight years. 11:48 to go, first period. No score. Bruins come up empty on an early power play chance in this one. Face-off will be just outside the Boston blue line. They ask Alexander Wenberg to step away. Colin Graff takes his place. Face-off win by the Bruins off the near side boards. Loose puck near the red line. Zacha whipping it across ice looking for Pasternak, but it was cut off. Marker Wotherspoon back along with Callahan. Callahan's pass up the near side looking for Zacha. Denied just shy of the red line. Graff able to direct it back deep into Boston territory. Wotherspoon coming behind the net. Reversed it back toward Callahan. Zacha hands off to Pasternak. Rink wide pass finds Wotherspoon jumping up. Carries in across the Sharks line. Top of the far circle. Able to keep it loose. Zacha tried to throw it to the net. That hit a body. Comes back out toward the far wall, and it'll be dragged ahead by Graff. To the Boston line. Turned over there. Angled off the near boards by Callahan. He's got Geeky up the left side, and his shot goes just up over the net.
Pretty good shot away. Coming down his off wing that time. Trying to go high glove.
Geeky battling for it in the near corner. Puck came back toward the blue line. Lorai trying to keep it in, but second effort will get it out. Wenberg plays it across ice. Sharks have about 12 guys on the ice in the midst of a change there. They don't get called for it. Here's Husnudinov. Steal inside the offensive zone. Gives it to Lorai coming in across the blue line. Lorai left wing circle, throws one in front. Directed back away from Georgiev. Lindholm, wide angle shot off Georgiev's body, still loose near the side of the net.
Why not? Pump up the shot volume a little bit, even from bad angles. Create some rebounds, create some loose pucks. You're not a team that's going to tic-tac-toe it into the net. Most guys aren't.
Lorai had it poke checked away by Desharnais out to neutral ice. Lysell to carry it back in along the left side and chips it in behind Georgiev. Usnadinov in there on the forecheck, able to win it. Lysell off the far wall. Played it back to Usnadinov at the far corner. Handed off in that corner. Brought back to the point, and trying to fight to keep it in was Lysell out near the blue line. He did. He'll head off on a change. Beecher providing the pressure inside the San Jose zone. 9:40 to go here in the first period. Celebrini fires a pass across the ice, but missed Eklund coming up the left side. And that's an icing against San Jose.
Fans Between the Pipes is sponsored by Charles D. Sheehy. If you're in the piping trade, you need to call Charles D. Sheehy, Boston's premier piping and mechanical product supplier. CDS is your local leader. Between the Pipes for the Sharks here tonight is Alexander Georgiev, and for the Bruins, Jonas Korpisalo.
Korpisalo 10-7-3 in 20 starts this year. 2.78 goals against and an .896 save percentage. He got the win in the first meeting between these two teams, stopping 25 out of 28 against the Sharks in a 6-3 win back on January the 20th. Puck deep in the San Jose zone. Celebrini chasing into the far corner, picks it up, sends a long pass up ice, directed deep by Will Smith. Had to wear Macklin Celebrini's Boston University jersey to work tonight. Pay off a bet on their matchup in the Bean Pot.
They both should have worn Maine jerseys.
Congratulations to you and the Black Bears.
Right?
Hockey East champs. Smith along the near wall. Callahan got it back out of the Bruins zone.
It's been a while since I've been able to say that. But yeah, congratulations to them.
Middlestat coming through neutral ice. Puck directed up into the air. Glove down by Kepke. Got it in front for Letary. A great opportunity, but Georgiev made the stop.
Went off of Liljegren, now that we're saying it that way. Went off of his stick and on Georgiev.
Puck comes behind the Bruins net now. Liljegren changing the pronunciation of his name when he was
in Toronto.
Yeah, we all remember him well in Toronto. Puck will be brought back across the Boston line by Goodrow in the far corner. Callahan blocks a pass, gets the puck onto his stick, backhands it along for Middlestat.
He got buried.
He did. Grundstrom knocked him down for his efforts. 8:10 to go here in the first. Puck in the neutral ice. Grundstrom will bring it back into the Bruins zone and dumps one in, and it ends up on the side of the crease, covered up by Korpisalo, and we'll take a break. 8:05 to go here in the first. No score between the Bruins and Sharks on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Fans, there's only 2 days left to bid on Bruins Authentics' latest auction. Relive memorable moments that were made on the TD Garden ice, including Pavel Zacha's 300th career point, Jeremy Swayman's shutout against the Kraken, and more from this 2024-25 roster. Head to BruinsAuthentics.com to learn more and place your bids before the auction ends Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. 8:05 left here in the first period. Bruins and Sharks are scoreless. Face off inside the Boston zone, and the Sharks control it. Mukamadulin along the near boards will play it down into the corner. Peak able to wrestle Graf down. Puck came out in front off of Zacha and through the crease in the air. Settled in the far corner, sent behind the net. Graf takes it to the corner, throws one out in front, sticked away there, coming from behind the goal line.
Yeah, Corpusalo, an alert stick, got that paddle down.
Digging for it in the near corner, both Lorai and Peak against a pair of Sharks. Puck does come free, now on the near wall. It's Wenberg dragging it back toward the blue line, tried to play it back toward the net, deflected off toward the hash marks near side. In behind it comes, and Peak has it, and the Bruins will start out. Peak with a long pass to center ice. Gathered in, and across the line comes Geekie. Geekie left wing circle, trying to get rid of it, but ran out of time. Brought back through neutral ice and across the Boston line, cutting to the front of the net. Jokiharju hauls down Kovalenko to avert a scoring chance, but that'll send him to the penalty box.
Yeah, not much of an argument here. It's a pretty good play by Kovalenko. It's a bouncing puck, which is a little bit unlucky for Jokiharju. He's in good position, but Kovalenko pushes that puck by him. He looks to get by him, and then Jokiharju has to take him down before he can get a scoring chance.
The Sharks will get their first power play of the game. Nikolai Kovalenko, a 25-year-old NHL rookie, spent 6 years in the KHL over in Russia. Son of former NHLer Andrei Kovalenko.
The tank.
Sharks power play will go to work. They are 19.5% success rate on the year, 22nd in the league. This puck gets wrapped around the wall. Toffoli chasing it toward the far circle, but Lindholm got there first, and now Zadorov will scale one all the way down the ice. Luca Cagnoni, another rookie, came back to play that puck. Celebrini gives it back to Cagnoni, far side, deflected puck off the wall in front of the Bruins bench, stays out of the zone. Toffoli will get it back in, but this time offside. Celebrini got too good of a jump. We got 6:25 to go here in the period. 1:26 to go on the penalty to Jokiharju.
Kovalenko played one season with the Bruins. 16 goals, 37 points. And he went back to Russia.
Nikolai started the season with Colorado. Came over in the trade that sent along with Georgiev back in December. This puck off the near board. Celebrini will drag it down toward the corner. Angles it back toward the blue line. Cagnoni into the corner for Celebrini. Cagnoni over to the far side, finds Will Smith. He brings it back out to the blue line, and then pass back for Cagnoni. Came outside the blue line and got brought back in offside.
Cagnoni, not a big guy, but manning the point on this power play. You're going to make a change now. They're going to bring 5 new guys out, but opportunity for him.
It's just his second NHL game. Made his debut on Thursday night against Carolina. 20-year-old rookie, 4th round draft pick a couple of seasons ago. 5'9", 180 on the back end. Sharks trying to get set up on the power play here with 45 seconds to go on the Jokiharju penalty. In the far corner of the Bruins zone, puck is frozen against the boards. Peak backhands it for Zadorov behind the net. Zadorov knocked off balance, still able to get that puck cleared all the way down.
He's looking at the referee. Probably should have been a trip. He fought through it, though.
23 to go on the man advantage as Graf brings it back through the red line. Hands it back now to Wenberg, just inside the line. Liljegren sent one across the ice. Kovalenko had to chase it into the far corner. Comes around toward the near side. Wenberg pushed it back toward Liljegren at the point. Over to the far side, and a shot. Stick save by Korpisalo, and he covers it up.
Well, it was a shot pass, right? Kovalenko is the guy in front. He's wide open there in front. The Bruins get spread out a little bit. And this puck comes from the left wing, the point on the left wing side, and Kovalenko's alone in front. He's got the stick. He presents the stick. He's looking for a tip, and he gets it. And Korpisalo stays right with it. Nice save. Following that puck on the way in.
4 more seconds to kill on this penalty. Elias Lindholm gets tossed out of the faceoff. Beecher will stand in his place. And a faceoff win by Ostapchuk. as the Sharks get set up for one more shot before the power play comes to an end, but it is tipped and wide. Sent back out in front. Beecher takes that away, and he'll drag it out into neutral ice, play it ahead, and head off on a change. The Bruins get a full unit out. 4:45 to go here in the first period. Each team 0 for 1 on the power play so far. Here's Mukhamadullin with a shot. That one.
Yeah, nice move. Then he's got to rotate back. You know, if you pre-scout, you know Pasternak's flying the zone every time he gets, and I'm not saying in a bad way, it's a good way. When that puck's going to get blocked on a point shot, he's taking off looking for the long pass. It's developed into breakaways several times this year.
Battling for possession inside the Boston zone. Geekie sends it behind the Bruins net. Wotherspoon there. Sharks peel off and go for a change. Pass up the left side. Here's Pasternak through neutral ice. Brings it across the San Jose line. Trying to stick handle around Desharnais and got knocked down. Gets the puck back in his direction. Gets it back to Laura. Now Pasternak at the top of the left circle. Brings it back out toward the blue line. Throws one toward the net. And steered aside by Georgiev. His peak was looking for a high tip.
Man on man for San Jose defensively.
Patrick Giles going to bring the Sharks back through neutral ice. Kovalenko left side. His shot blocked off the stick of Lohrei and out of play. 3:41 left here in the first period. No score between the Bruins and the Sharks on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Okay, I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Go to IQBAR.com and enter code AUDIO to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
3:41 left here in the first period in San Jose. Bruins and Sharks are scoreless. Alongside Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston. Great to have you with us. Late night start here in San Jose. Late night start out east, I should say, as that one goes wide. Beecher will poke it up the far boards and helped out of the zone by Brown. Lauko able to play it forward. He'll chase it hard into the attack zone. It's crashing into the end wall and puck thrown to the net here by Beecher. Georgiev eats that one up and hangs on to it.
Yeah, both goalies have been sharp here early on. Not that they've had a ton of work, but they've had to make a couple of good saves.
Lauko back on after that fight earlier against Barclay Goodrow. He was flying in there on the forecheck.
Trying to provide that energy that he's here for. I mean, that's, the Bruins liked him. They ended up making the trade for Lettieri, right? And now you got both of them in the lineup.
Face off in the offensive zone here for Lindholm. Yoki Harju with a shot in and out of the glove of Georgiev. Lauko coming back over from in that trade for Justin Brazeau, who scored his first goal with the Minnesota Wild today. But grabbed and brought behind the net by Ostapchuk. Off the near wall, helped out of the zone by Goodrow. Ostapchuk Just been here in San Jose since the trade deadline. Came over from Ottawa. Trade for Fabian Zetterlund. Both these teams had a lot of those type of moves this year. A lot of guys in and out. As you mentioned.
Well, there's 13 players in their lineup today that weren't in the opening night lineup.
Brought up the left side here by Wenberg. He'll pivot out of the far corner against Peak. Peak got a stick on a pass. Now it comes down low for Toffoli. Back to the point. Geeky stepping out on Cagnoni, forced a turnover, but the outlet pass is going to miss Pasternak, and that'll be an icing.
We mentioned the Bruins turnover. I mean, we were in Vegas the other day, and you've got Bruce Cassidy's the coach, and just talking to him, he said, there's two guys, now you don't count McAvoy and Lindholm, and two players that are in the lineup for the Bruins that he coached.
He's been gone less than 3 years.
It's Pasternak and Swayman.
Face off won by Geeky, but they whistle it down. You're going to have to do it again.
I thought, no, Zacha was in there too, wasn't he? Sure. Zacha was definitely in there, I believe.
Puck taken here by Lohrei. Zacha will play it deep and give chase. Puck behind the net, sent around to the far side. And, we got a penalty coming up. Wenberg was trying to sidestep a check and ended up getting tripped by Pavel Zacha. And Zacha's going to go to the box, and San Jose will go back to the power play for the second time in this period. So 1:50 to go here in the first. And an opportunity once again for San Jose to get on the board. Face-off will be to the right of Korpisalo.
Wenberg, a little kind of stutter move. Looked like he's going to go one way, spun around and went the other way. And it's the foot of Zacha that catches him.
Here's a drive off the face-off when Eklund fires. But sliding to his left, Korpisalo got there in time to make the save and hang on. So yeah, double checking. Zacha got here after Cassidy was gone. Face-off win, pulled back behind the net here is Zadorov. Lindholm will play it through the neutral zone.
He came the year after,
his third season here. So
he said Lauko was in the system, but he wasn't here yet.
Right. Yeah, he mentioned a couple of guys that had been in Providence or were in the system by then, but that he had not coached directly. Cagnoni, right circle to Celebrini, one-touch pass. He'll get it back now from Eklund. Cagnoni over to Smith, left circle. His shot gets blocked. Comes right back to Cagnoni. Over to Smith, top of the left circle. To Celebrini, a one-timer redirected by Beecher.
That's
and wide.
Good setup. Good right through the seam that time from Smith to Celebrini in the right wing circle for the one-timer.
Under a minute to go in the period here. Power play will carry over by about 10 seconds into the second period if the Sharks don't score. Cagnoni brings back to the Boston line. Toffoli try to wrap it around. Came a hop out in front and a scramble as Korpisalo reached out to try to get it. Koepke backhands it to the blue line, but not out past Toffoli. Second effort. They do get it cleared as Patrick Brown able to stick it out. Liljegren back in his own zone here for San Jose. 23 to go in the period as they come back through neutral ice. Nearly turn it over, but Graf able to fight through traffic and then lost it inside the Boston blue line. Wotherspoon to Jokiharju, who winds up and fires one all the way down ice and forcing Georgiev to make a save from about 170 feet. Directed back into the Boston zone. Peak in the near corner. Final seconds ticking off, and the Sharks won't get another shot off as a centering pass from Wenberg is denied. So the Bruins outshoot the Sharks 8-7 in the first period. Each team with a power play chance. Sharks with Nearly 2 full power play chances, and neither team's on the scoreboard yet. Scoreless at the end of 1. Back with our first intermission next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Happy Monday.
For real?
Yeah, my Mondays feel a lot better since I found an amazing therapist.
Ugh, jealous. I really need to find a good therapist, but I don't know where to start.
Find and book the right therapist for you on ZocDoc. Look, the patient reviews say that Dr. Taylor is super compassionate, she's in network, and available tomorrow.
What would I do without you?
Probably look for a new job.
You've got options. Download the free ZocDoc app to book today.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Markdown Days.
At Route 6 Automall Kia in Swansea.
They're marking down prices on everything.
And every vehicle is just $1 down. So put your tax refund in the bank.
Coach, what's the game plan? It's going to take championship caliber offers. 0% financing? You betcha. Get 0% and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
New Kia Tellurides, Sportages, Sorrentos, and more at markdown prices.
Hey, what if I don't make the cut?
Don't sweat it. All you need is a job and a dime. Every vehicle, $1 down.
Oh, and the confetti is falling. Get 0% and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
You could save thousands.
Get to Markdown Days
at Route 6 Automall Kia
in Swansea.
Route6automall.com.
Route6automall.com.
For details, call 888-420-3306.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Bruins and Sharks are scoreless at the end of 1 here in San Jose. Boston out shooting the Sharks 8-7 in that first period. And on this Saturday night, we're going to go around the NHL with the plays of the week. There was no shortage of excitement around the league this week as we enter the final month of the season. Leon Draisaitl set a new mark for the longest point streak of the year. John Tavares reached an 1,100-point milestone. Alex Ovechkin got goal number 888 for the Caps, and the second wild card spot in the East is up for grabs for about anybody. Here are your NHL plays of the week.
Puck along the boards. Engvall put it right to the net, and it's Pickard. He'll give it to McDavid. Now to Draisaitl. The breakaway shot. Scores! Leon Draisaitl ends it in overtime. Calvin Pickard started the play, and he'll get an assist. And the Oilers win it 2-1.
And Ovechkin getting a shot blocked. Now the shot, they score! And Faravari puts it in from the outside. I think it was tipped by Alex Ovechkin. Redirected. Ovechkin gets goal 887 on a tip of a Faravari shot. And that's what they came to see. A standing ovation from so many in red. Alex Ovechkin is one closer.
Puck over to the far wing No, as Thomas keeps it in. Buchnevich to Kyrou. To the empty net. Hat trick goal. If you've got a hat, chuck it at your radio. Jordan Kyrou with the hat trick tonight as the Blues have put a handful on the Wild. They lead 5-1 with 2:20 to go in the third.
Cale Makar sees an opening. Makar cuts to the middle. Makar, he scores! Oh, hail Cale! It's a 3-point day!
To the blue line for Bouchard to try Seidel on the right wing. Works to the middle. His shot saved by Shesterkin. Rebound scores! Corey Perry.
Sandberg now into where the slot for Cole Perfetti. Swings toward the net. Back out in front. The shot. They score! Dylan Sandberg, a chip shot. Past Joey DeCord. Jets win! Jets win! Jets win! In overtime tonight. And they sweep the 3-game series over the Seattle Kraken and start this road trip with a victory 3-2 tonight in the Emerald City.
Face off at center. Rifled in off the draw by Jake Sanderson. Canadians play it off the boards out to center. Here goes Gallagher. Breakaway empty net, and he scores. And Gallagher makes sure this one is done for good. Final minute of play, and it's 6-3.
Cizikas cleaned up the rebound and moved it to the far side. And now, chance for Engvall trying to get in behind the D. He's in, shoot, he scores! The big Swede fires it home! Pierre Engvall gives the Islanders their first lead of the night! It is 3-2 New York, and that one, Greg, is all about speed!
Into the second minute, and Benoit will get a clear, and Sutter with Diamond to get out of the way, and he sets up Lorenz and scores! And Steven Lorenz! Out of pressure, Benoit just clearing this down. Look at just the ball. Now there's nothing the officials, Kelly can't do anything about it, but a heads-up play by Lorenz, and this is one I'm sure Blackwood would like to have. Credit Lorenz. Tried to get out of the way, thought it was maybe going up into his head, and then lost his balance.
Face off one back for Colton. Turning and firing and scoring is Yoel Kiviranta. Kivi sniping. He makes it 4-0. Colorado.
Back to the point to McCabe and a shot. Blocked it away. Nylander. Then Tavares with a drive, and he scores. And they're coming in fast and furious. And Johnny T has a pair, and I think Jake McCabe's going to end up with another assist for a 3-point night.
Now here comes Coronado across the Devils' blue line. Loses control of it. Hoover grabs it, shoots it, and he scores! Wow! Jonathan Huberdeau rips the puck past Jacob Markstrom. The Flames have scored 3 unanswered goals in the third period and have a 4-3 lead.
Barkov into the right circle, looks around. Jones fakes the shot, gives to Barkov. Barkov to the high slot, a shot, and he scores! There's the overtime winner! Alexander Barkov, 30 seconds into overtime. A power play goal for the game winner. The Panthers strike first. It took over 60 minutes of hockey. The Panthers get it done. A huge win here in Columbus tonight. 1-0 the final in overtime. Islanders a 2-on-1 the other way. Horvat with Palmieri. Bo, left wing over the Montreal line. Look, shoot. He scores! Bo knows big goal! An overtime winner for Horvat. And the Islanders beat the Canadiens here tonight. 4-3 is your final. They are 2 points out of a playoff spot with 14 games to go.
Bo Horvat helping to keep the Islanders' playoff hopes alive with that overtime game winner, wrapping up our NHL plays of the week. First intermission here in San Jose. The Bruins and the Sharks are scoreless. We'll check the out-of-town scores on a busy day around the NHL coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Fruit Pectin Gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant C&E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
Ben hadn't had a decent night's sleep in a month. So, during one of his restless nights, he booked a package trip abroad on Expedia. When he arrived at his beachside hotel, he discovered a miraculous bed slung between two trees and fell into the best sleep of his life. You were made to be rechargeable. We were made to package flights and hotels and hammocks for less. Expedia, made to travel.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between, it's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Bruins and Sharks scoreless after one period here in San Jose. Let's take a look at the other action from around the NHL. A lot of finals from earlier today, including the Rangers, a come-from-behind win over Vancouver 5-3. Dallas Stars got an overtime game winner just 9 seconds into the extra session from Thomas Harley. They beat the Flyers 3-2. Minnesota Wild, 4-1 winners over Buffalo today. Justin Brazeau scoring his first goal since the trade from Boston to Minnesota. The St. Louis Blues just keep on rolling. A 4-1 win today over Chicago. It's their fifth straight win, 12-2-2 in their last 16 games, and they're currently in the second wild card spot in the West. The Calgary Flames with a 4-3 overtime win over the Islanders today. Nazem Kadri netted the game winner in that one. The LA Kings, who the Bruins will play tomorrow, built a 6-0 lead over Carolina in the first half of that game, ended up going on to win 7-2. Capitals with a 6-3 win over the Florida Panthers today. Utah, a 6-4 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Logan Cooley and Alexander Kerfoot, 2 goals apiece in that game. The Avalanche with a 5-4 shootout win in Montreal tonight. Montreal trailed that 4-1 in the third, scored 3 goals in 4:08 to tie the game and force overtime. They get a point, and a much-needed one, as they hold on to the second wild card spot in the East right now. Ottawa Senators with a 3-2 win over New Jersey tonight. The Predators beat Toronto 5-2. Nashville fell behind 2-0 in the first, scored 5 unanswered goals to take the win. In Vegas this evening, the Golden Knights with a 6-3 victory over the Detroit Red Wings. And there's one other game in progress late tonight. The Edmonton Oilers and Seattle Kraken are locked up at 2 goals apiece in the second period. That's checking the out-of-town scoreboard. Bruins and the Sharks are scoreless. We'll have the second period coming up on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Fruit Pectin Gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant C&E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Indecision, overthinking, second-guessing every choice you make. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Beige on beige on beige. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Bruins and the Sharks scoreless at the end of one period. We're joined by Bruins defenseman Andrew Peak. Andrew, what did you think of the pace of that first period from your end?
Yeah, it was a pretty good pace. San Jose's a quick team. We got some speed as well. It's kind of up and down the ice. We just need to hold on to pucks a little more in the offensive zone, get some possession time, and obviously wear them down.
They've got some good young talent that can provide some pressure offensively. What do you guys have to be most focused on in your own end tonight?
Yeah, they got skill. They can make plays. They like to try and make plays through you, skate through you. We just got to stick to our structure and have layers. Obviously, if you cover the middle, it's hard to infiltrate there. So for us, we just got to make sure we keep that lockdown.
At the offensive end, you guys have been struggling a little bit, scoring and generating shots. What do you need to do at that end of the ice to try and get control of this game?
I think we have looks to shoot. That's the thing. I think we just gotta commit to shooting it, and passes will open up once teams break down their coverage. So pass can't be our first look. We have to shoot, get rebounds, and that's obviously when that happens, the D zone structure breaks down. Obviously, as any team would know. So we just gotta have that shoot first mentality.
Appreciate the time. Good luck in the second.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to Andrew Peak for joining us. He's brought to you by TD Bank. TD Bank cardholders score special benefits at TD Garden. From Pro Shop discounts and free tours to free popcorn and more. Learn more at the TD Garden website. TD Bank, bank of the Boston Celtics and Bruins. So no score as we get ready to start the second period. Pavel Zacha is in the penalty box for the Bruins for the first 10 seconds of the period, as the Bruins will be going from left to right offensively. Beecher and Brown will start up front here with Jokiharju and Zadorov as the defense pair. And Beecher wins the faceoff at center ice from Ostapchuk. Back into the Boston zone. Zadorov will send it the length of the ice, and that will do it for the Sharks' second power play of the night. So they're 0 for 2, and the Bruins are 0 for 1 so far. Puck sent up the right side here by Liljegren. Tipped deep into Boston territory. Grundstrom in after it for San Jose. Wrapped around the far side. It'll come back out of the zone through Liljegren. And Lucas Carlson plays it up the near side. Jokiharju back ahead of Grundstrom. Takes a hit, but moves the puck around the far side. Comes ricocheting back around the near boards and out into neutral ice. Dumped right back in by Carlson. Zadorov in the far corner of the Bruins' end. Has plenty of room as he starts it up ice. Gives to David Pasternak. Through the red line and across the blue. Cutting to the left side around Graf into the far corner. Pivots away from Mukhamadullin. Now on the far circle. Knocked away from Zacha. Played out into neutral ice. Toffoli will keep it moving forward. Graf got it across the Boston line. Wenberg cutting in front. And the right pad stopped by Korpisalo. He covers it.
Yeah, strong move here by Wenberg. Gets this nice little feed from Graf as they come over the blue line. He's got some good speed going. And he's coming in his off wing. He's on the right wing side. He's a left-hand shot. It's just a little touch pass. He's going to drag this puck right around Mason Lohrei and come to the front of the net. And Korpisalo, probably his best save. He's made a couple good ones, but that's his best save right there, keeping the right pad down on Wenberg as he brought it to his forehand. Wenberg stuck on 99 goals in his career.
A face-off to the right of Korpisalo coming up here. Wenberg in his first season here in San Jose, signed as a free agent last summer, 2 years, $5 million per.
Serviceable player. You know, he's a guy that can help. He bounced a little bit, right? A couple different teams, trade deadline wise. Settled here for a couple of years, but he's somebody that can complement some decent, some good players, some good quality up front.
Mukmadulin wrapping on up the far boards inside the San Jose zone. Now Graf forced back into the corner by Lysell. Puck comes off the wall. Nearly a chance there for Husnudinov. Instead, hard around the near boards. Pete kept it alive briefly and then lost his balance and lost his stick as he comes back into the defensive end. Husnudinov able to angle Mukmadulin off the puck. I don't want those two names pronounced back-to-back too many times tonight. It's a lot of syllables all at once. Just about 2 minutes gone here in the second period. From the neutral zone, Middlestat will get it in across the line. It's knocked down along the near boards against Cagnoni. Sharks will come back with Celebrini on the right side. Sends one all the way across, and they score! William Eklund from the left circle, able to beat Korpisalo, and San Jose is on the board first here in the second period.
Good passing play here by the Sharks coming over the line. Eklund's going to be on the left wing side. A little bit of a breakdown for the Bruins. They get focused on the puck carrier over on the right side, and it's going to leave William Eklund open over on the left. And Eklund makes no mistake. He's going to go 5-0 with it. He gets this pass from Celebrini. Wotherspoon gets moving over towards the middle of the ice. He thinks that the back-checking forward, that's Koepke, is going to take away Eklund, and he does, and he goes towards the puck carrier. So Wotherspoon's already moved himself to the middle, and then the pass from Celebrini on the right side to Eklund on the left side, and Korpisalo can't come up with that one.
So that's the 16th goal of the season for William Eklund. Puck jumps out of play here. Celebrini will get an assist. Both of them now with 51 points, tied for the team lead in that department.
But you have three white jerseys going towards the puck carrier, and that's where the breakdown occurs. And that's why Eklund has time and space when Celebrini makes that pass over to him. Normally, that would be the forward taking away that puck carrier there. And it would be Wotherspoon that should stay more towards the middle of the ice. He got drifting over a little bit too far. He read it differently.
Face off.
Always a lot easier to see up here.
Right. Face off in the offensive zone. Bruins control it. Pasternak on the left circle. Brings it back along the blue line. Hands off there for Zadorov. His shot. Hit a body. Comes back to Zadorov in the far circle. And that one ended up going wide. On the near boards, Mukmadulin took a hit from Geekie, but still able to lob the puck out through neutral ice. Geekie gets a pass from Jokiharju and dumps it in. Georgiev goes behind the net, took a while to make a play with it, and Zacha chopping down on his goalie stick trying to win that puck. But he did get it away, and the Sharks got it cleared. Zadorov circles back behind the Bruins net with the puck, chased by Wenberg. Jokiharju's pass up the right side of Pasternak, tried to feed it into the middle near the blue line, but that was broken up. Jokiharju will come back to retrieve again in the Boston zone. Zadorov quickly gets rid of it. Giles bearing down on him. Turned over in the neutral ice. Morrow dropping back in his own zone, and now puck played deep by Cagnoni. Gets credit for the secondary assist, his first NHL point. Beecher dumps one in from just outside the blue line. Ricocheting out of the corner. Lauko fires a loose puck on goal, and Georgiev forced to make the save. Sharks get it cleared up the right side. Giles knocked out back toward the blue line. Cagnoni couldn't find the handle. We get a penalty coming up here. And the whistle will come with 16:04 to go here in the second period.
Opportunity for the Bruins now on the power play. They didn't do much with the first one. So you get a chance now. You're searching for offense. And we know that top line can provide it, right? With Geeky, Zacha, and Pasternak. But now you get a power play. You gotta bear down in these situations because scoring's going to be tough to come by.
And just talking to Andrew Peak a few minutes ago, he said, they've got to have a shot first mentality in this game.
I think every game, really, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just put the puck on net, jam. Get some ugly ones.
So power play number 2 on the night here for the Bruins. Early in this second period, down a goal. Sharks with possession, and they'll get a clear with a backhanded out to neutral ice by Goodrow. Thrown to the net by Ferraro and turned aside. And now the Bruins caught in their own zone here, scrambling. Husnudinov able to poke it free. He'll come through neutral ice. Pass on to Lettieri. Husnudinov down the right circle. Comes into the corner against Ferraro. Try to play it behind the net. Desharnais going to stick on that. Sharks will get a clear and a 2-on-1 here as Goodrow comes across the Boston line. Graf left circle, a high shot up off the shoulder, it looked like, of Korpisalo. Husnudinov will bring it back into the neutral zone. Lettieri off to the right side for Fabian Lysell. Held against the wall by Desharnais. Puck came out of the corner, and the Sharks will get it. It'll be tied to Landria to bring it through the neutral zone. Carried across the Boston line. Shot, another one up high on Korpisalo. Made the save.
Got San Jose caught right now.
Lindholm to Pasternak. Pasternak along the left side. Pulls up just inside the line. Deals across for Lohrei. Lohrei gives to Middlestat, cutting toward the right circle. Back to Lohrei, center of the blue line. Over to Pasta for a one-timer, and that one blocked. Sent behind the net and into the near corner where Middlestat regains. Lohrei, center of the blue line. Over to Pasternak along the far wall. Jumped over his stick, but he gathers it in off the wall. Geeky. Pasternak threw one in front off Georgiev.
It was there for Lindholm, though.
Here's Lindholm off a keep. A drive by Pasternak, and Georgiev makes a good stop on that one. Lifted to the blue line. Gloved down by a leaping Lohrei, but then forced out of the zone. 12 to go on the power play. Middlestat gets right back into the attack zone. Geeky trying to get it to the far side for Pasternak. Broken up and kicked out. So Cagnoni will come out of the box. Bruins now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. And Macklin Celebrini finds a puck on his stick inside San Jose territory. Bounced away from him as the puck came his direction from behind. Dumped back in. Georgiev backhands it into the far corner. Reversed hard around the near boards. Will Smith out at the blue line. Gives to Celebrini coming through the middle, and then he gets upended by Lauka. On the near wall, Celebrini's got it back. He'll backhand it over to the far side, and a shot that redirects wide of Korpisalo. Trying to force it back out in front. Instead, it came behind the net to Smith. Out in front, Celebrini, and a nice stop by Korpisalo. Ferraro deals over to Liljegren, who gave it up and got it right back. Liljegren to Ferraro, stepping to the left circle. Centering pass for Celebrini was broken up. Good stick work there by Beecher. He'll dump one in from center ice, in on goal, forcing Georgiev to play it aside. Celebrini has his pass directed back deep by Smith. Callahan in the far corner for the Bruins. And Boston will start out, moving left to right with 12:48 to go here in the second period. Down 1-0. Georgiev wraps it around the near boards. Kept in the zone by Zacha. His pass off to Foley's leg. And Toffoli will bring it back toward the Boston line. Then he's knocked down on a stiff check by Wotherspoon. Toffoli comes right back at him along the near boards. They're still tangled up.
Wotherspoon challenged him. Toffoli's, he's not really a guy that drops his gloves much. But two good hits, right? Wotherspoon leveled him right at the blue line. Toffoli wasn't happy, came right back at him, and that's when Wotherspoon challenged him.
Now letting them hear it as Pasternak at center right. Finds Elias Lindholm. His drive from the blue line will be covered up by period. San Jose has a 1. Home jumped into the far corner instead. Now a turnover by the Sharks coming out of the zone as Lysell turns and fires one wide. Peak will play it to the back of the net. Lysell takes it to the far circle. Turnaround shot, and Georgiev gets a piece of that, directs it up over the glass.
Fans of Bank is teaming up with Boston legend Patrice Bergeron again this season for Assists for Kids to donate $37,000 to help Metro West families pay for youth hockey. Get details now at avidiabank.com/Team Bergeron.
Line to the Bruins road trip will continue tomorrow night. Back to back.
Kings big winners today.
Yeah, 7 spot
over Carolina.
Yeah.
Carolina had won, what, 8 in a row? 7 in a row?
Something in that ballpark.
Check it now.
8 straight.
8 in a row coming in today. Get blown out.
Bruins on the attack here, within the far corner. Middlestat relieved of the puck. It'll be brought out into neutral ice. Left side, and Cagnoni dumps it in all the way around to the far boards. Koepke pushed it back toward the end wall. Zadorov helped pop it free. Vinny Lettieri will bring it out into the neutral zone and chip it up the left wing wall. Koepke will get in there first from the far corner. Behind the net to Middlestat. To Lettieri, a one-timer just wide of the glove side. Sharks will gain possession, and the puck volleyed out by Dellandrea. Koepke will drive it right back in from the red line. Tomorrow's game, by the way, 9 o'clock Eastern time face-off. Pregame coverage at 8:30 across the network.
Early one for everybody back east.
Right. Puck poked toward the corner here by Lauko. Able to get position around Desharnais. Far side wall. Jumped out toward the blue line.
Kings are a good team. They're right there. They're right in the hunt. They're tied with Edmonton right now after their win today.
There's a drive from the point by Liljegren, gets blocked. Will Smith gives it back to him. Liljegren tries again. That one blocked by Lauko. And then he gets a piece of another one while he was still down. Another shot hit his stick. And Korpisalo, after the cover, gets up and tries to go after Smith.
Yeah, a little delay on the whistle, and the puck actually went off a peak in front of the net. And that's where the deflection came from, and Korpisalo was able to keep it out, make the save, and then get a couple of Sharks kind of digging away just before the whistle went. Lauko made the initial block. It wasn't Smith who dug away. It was Celebrini who was the first guy there. They were both there. It wasn't much. Korpisalo let him know he wasn't happy about it.
Korpisalo with 13 saves on 14 shots. as we are just about the midway point of this one.
He's been sharp.
Yeah.
He's had a couple funny ones.
Bruins get the clear. Middlestat trying to get it right side for Koepke. Take it away. Loose puck at center ice. Eklund couldn't find it. But back in across the line now by Koepke. On the left circle. Wheels it around the boards to the near side with Terry. Able to stick handle away from Celebrini, who lost his stick. Puck came out in front. Koepke chasing, but Smith gets there first. And that one's going to go out of play into the Bruins bench here. We'll step aside. 9:44 left here in the second period. San Jose with the only goal so far on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/try now.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Bruins going to return home after this road trip. Be back to TD Garden on April the 1st to face off against the Capitals at 7 p.m. You can head to bostonbruins.com/tickets. Lock in your seat for the action. 9:44 left here in the second period. Sharks with a 1-0 lead. Face off just outside the San Jose blue line. Zacha and Graf battle for possession. Sharks will move it forward here with Wenberg getting it to the Boston line and now sending it deep. Callahan, his first game back. It's being called up from Providence. Had to play it toward the near side. Taken away from Wotherspoon. Puck thrown to the front of the net, but Bruins will skate it away, and then Pasternak angles it up ice. Won't make it far enough for an icing. Mukamadulin under pressure from both Zacha and Kiki. Finds Wenberg. Wenberg standing in his own zone. Pass up the right wing boards. Chipped in deep by Graf. Bruins will start back the other way. Geekie through the red line and across the blue. Ran headlong into Ferraro. Giles played it across ice. Mukamadulin up through the neutral zone, but Delandria unable to stop that one. Lorai played back into his own zone. Peak had to get on his horse to get to it first.
He tried to spin away from a check in the neutral zone. Got that puck knocked off his stick.
Peak picked the puck up behind Jonas Korpisalo. Long pass through the neutral zone. Here's Husnadinov with a step on the right circle. Sends one in front for Lindholm. And the defensive play by Giles getting a stick in there.
Giles, real good stick because that's a good setup right there.
Georgiev off a dump in. They'll steer it around the near side wall. Husnadinov pulled it off the boards. Tried to get it back towards Zadorov, but puck came out into the neutral ice instead. Dumped right back in by Jokiharju. On the near circle. Here's Lysell. He gets hit, knocked to the ice. Still digging for it. Husnadinov Lysell, Beecher, six players all gathered in here scrumming for this puck. Crowd getting anxious. Puck came back out toward the blue line, and Celebrini's got it. He will work his way across the ice and now backhanded in deep. Korpisalo shot it into the far corner for Zadorov, thrown back in front, and Celebrini deflected that on goal.
Yeah, Smith read it, got to the boards, picked that puck off, and centered it for Celebrini's chance.
They work it across here for Carlson out near the point. Now Smith rotating back. His pass into the slot got picked off.
Playing D right now.
Brown coming up through the neutral zone. Pass got through Lauko. Beecher from the left circle turns around and fires, and it goes up and out of play.
Fans, hockey season is the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
That line, as you talked about it pregame, Celebrini, Eklund, and Smith all playing together tonight.
Oh, they're the future. I mean, those are the guys that, you know, in all honesty, a lot of the guys that are up front right now, and even on D, you know, they're some are going to be here, some are not.
Yep.
But the guys you're building around is that top line.
But you can see it. I mean, they are a danger when they've got that puck in the offensive zone. Shot by Lohrei gets blocked. Puck comes into the near corner. Lettieri up against the glass. In behind the net. Koepke able to outrace Liljegren for it. Georgiev at the back of the Sharks net. Up the left side comes Carlson. Pass up through the middle. Deflected away at the Boston blue line. It comes in behind the net. The Sharks able to get to it first. Rundstrom got it back to the point. They work it along for Ferraro. His shot. It's blocked in front, and the Bruin down.
Is that Peak?
Yeah.
He blocked the shot, and he had it stick to him, and he went down. He's trying to shake it off right now. I think he caught it.
Sensitive area. Still down on a knee. And now up and making his way back toward the Bruins bench. A bent over posture.
At least it was only a wrist shot coming in, but he's battling two guys in front of the net, and then you kind of leave yourself exposed when you block the shot. He's trying to shake it off now as he made his way to the bench.
So they'll face it off in the Bruins zone with 6:36 to go here in the second. Face-off win by Geekie. Wotherspoon got it behind the net. Callahan played it up ice. Cross ice pass finds no one. Dumped right back in by Ferraro. Zacha off the wraparound. Callahan looking for Pasternak, missed him. Mukamadulin with a shot, and the pad stopped by Korpisalo.
Yeah, they gave Korpisalo a good line.
There's Graff. They work it around quickly, and a chance right on the doorstep by Toffoli, turned away.
Did a good job initially, but then pretty good breakdown there by the Bruins. Graff in front.
Got fired down toward the end boards, and referee Chris Shankler had to dive out of the way. On the near wall, Zacha against Graff. Graff able to win it. Ferraro out at the point, though pushed out of the zone by Geekie. Outlet pass, Pasternak into the San Jose zone, able to fight his way off of Mukamadulin, got the shot in from the right circle. Saved by Georgiev. Jokiharju gives to Zadorov. He'll bring it toward the right circle himself. Around behind the net. All the way to the far circle. Dealt it back to the blue line. Lindholm to Jokiharju near side. Back over to Zadorov. Active down into the far corner.
Completing a change right now. Getting fresh bodies out there.
Pasternak from the left corner looking for Jokiharju coming down the right circle. That was broken up. Pasternak's got it back though. Zadorov, center of the blue line. Off to the left circle again. Centering for Zadorov coming down the slot. It was missed him.
Sharks are stuck out on a long shift.
Jokiharju throws one to the net with Husnudinov in front. Went off the back glass, came back out over the net into the crease. Sharks able to push it toward the near boards, but not yet out of the zone.
Win this battle and keep them out there.
4:45 to go here in the second period. Ferraro sends it hard around the boards.
Quick up.
Jokiharju able to slow it up coming through neutral ice. one Shark gets off, they'll get the second one off as the Bruins get it back into the attack zone. Husnudinov along the far circle. Pass along for Fabian Lysell.
It's the first real sustained attack the Bruins have had in this period.
Lysell to the back of the net, chopped away from him, but it'll be kept in deep here by Lohrei. Deals it back to Husnudinov out near the point. Now over to Peak. His shot gets blocked. And off the near boards and all the way down it goes, and it won't be an icing as Gaudreau chases it down in the Boston zone.
Yeah, good pressure. You get the puck in the offensive zone. You cannot get that shot blocked right there. If you're not going to be able to get it through, rotate it back down behind the net or go D to D. But that gives San Jose the ability to make that change.
Puck brought behind the San Jose net here now by Johnny Beecher. Locked up along the far, or the near boards. Came back to the point man, Wotherspoon. Walks it toward the middle, took a shot, deflected on, and Georgiev made the stop.
Some good pressure, though, here by the Bruins last couple shifts.
Brown's pass toward the high slot got taken away by Gaudreau. And it'll come out into neutral ice. Wotherspoon gets in the way of Grundstrom. Both guys go down. Bruins with possession. Wotherspoon to center ice. Dumps into the left corner. Heads off on a change. Georgiev backhands it toward Desharnais. Lost it and they score! Casey Mittelstadt able to knock that one home after a misplay by the Sharks, and the Bruins tie it at 1.
Well, last couple shifts, at least you could start to feel it coming for the Bruins. You find your legs, it's contagious, and it snowballs in the right direction. You get the puck in the offensive zone. Georgiev goes back to play this puck on the dump in, and we always talk about it, right, Ryan? Nobody talks about it when it's an easy, simple, smart handoff to a defenseman from a goaltender, and then you make that pass and you're moving up the ice. But when it's botched, it's so obvious, and it's a little bit slow by Georgiev, and then the decision to go back to Desharnais, probably the wrong one. Koepke disrupts it.
Sharks will get a chance here as Celebrini's shot gets blocked just wide.
And then Mittelstadt's there to put it home into an empty net.
Puck in the neutral ice. Koepke will push it forward. Casey Mittelstadt with his second as a Bruin. And this is his 7th game since the trade from Colorado. At 11 with the Avalanche this year. And this one will be unassisted. The Bruins have tied it late here in the second period.
Almost give Koepke an assist there. I know he might not have touched it, but he made the play.
Puck will come back into the Boston zone. Zadorov will push it around behind the net. Zacha directs it forward. Goes into the near corner against Ferraro as they get locked up. Kiki and Mukhamadullin join the fray as well. Back toward the near circle. Turned over. Zacha to Kiki. Point blank shot. And the Sharks will clear the loose one.
Mukhamadullin might have got a piece of that on the block.
Comes up just shy of an icing. Lohrei finds Peak coming out of the zone. His pass for Zacha knocked away. Ferraro regains here for San Jose with 1:50 to go in the period. And directed deep by Kovalenko. Lohrei got it in the far corner. Boston will start out moving left to right here late second period.
They did get Koepke an assist.
They did, okay. Peak sends it behind the net. Lindholm in the far corner. Up against the boards against Lucas Carlson. Pasternak to Geekie. Here's Callahan with a shot that got blocked. And now he's got to hustle back. As up the left wing side comes the blocker, Dellandrea. Drops it off for Kovalenko. Moving down the left circle and around behind the Bruins net. Pivots back away from Husnudinov. Husnudinov reaches in, steals that puck, and he's headed up ice in a hurry. To the red line, a right wing pass for Fabian Lysell. Lysell stops near the top of the face-off circle, gives to Wotherspoon back at the point. Now right circle, Husnudinov. Backhands it down the wall. Mittelstadt in the near corner against Wenberg. And now Liljegren gets involved. Puck came back toward the fray, and it'll be brought out of the zone by Graf. And a redirected pass goes into the San Jose bench, out of play with 34.5 to go in the period. And and we will step aside. Tie game, 1-1 our score here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub, Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
34 and a half seconds to go here in the second period. Bruins and Sharks are tied at 1. Casey Middlestat getting Boston on the board from Cole Koepke. Our delivery of the game delivered by Granite City Electric's GCE Night Train. Electrical contractors, get on board the GCE Night Train. Order your materials to be delivered overnight to the job site the following morning and save time and money. Go to GCEnighttrain.com to order.
Don't forget that save that Korpisalo made on Toffoli, right? That breakdown defensively. They moved that puck to the front. I think it was Graf who moved it to Toffoli, who redirected it. He knew it was out of score, but he was denied by Korpisalo, and the Bruins end up tying this game.
15 to go in the period. So the puck sent through the neutral zone, and they're going to be whistled offside here. Toffoli fired that one toward the net, but had preceded the airborne puck in across the blue line. 9.8 to go, and the faceoff will come back into Sharks territory.
That's where the pass was initiated from.
Crowd cheering as they recognize Luca Cagnoni, rookie, with his first point on the Sharks' goal earlier in the period. First NHL point for him. Face off here for Elias Lindholm. Near circle down to our right. See if the Bruins can sneak a late one here. Grab the lead before they get to the locker room. Off the draw. Puck pulled toward the wall. Kiki got it back to Jokiharju. Over to Zadorov. Sent it toward Pasternak at the far circle. Knocked away by Mukhamadullin. And that will do it for period number 2. So William Eklund early in the period. Casey Middlestat late in the period. And each team with a goal on the board at the end of 2. 1-1 our score. Back to recap the first 40 minutes. Coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub, Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Need a brain boost? Try Neuromag Magnesium L-threonate from Life Extension. Magnesium plays an important role in healthy memory and cognitive function. But not all magnesium supplements are easy for your brain to absorb. Neuromag is formulated with an ultra-absorbable form of magnesium, making it a brilliant choice to provide the maximum benefits for your brain health. So, boost your brain performance, memory, and attention with Neuromag today.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Station.
Wotherspoon to center ice, dumps into the left corner, heads off on a change. Georgiev backhands it toward Desharnais, lost it, and they score! Casey Middlestat able to knock that one home after a misplay by the Sharks, and the Bruins tie it at 1. That our amazing play presented by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions. Second intermission here in San Jose. Bruins and Sharks are even at a goal apiece, and that goal coming at the end of a lengthy run in the offensive zone for the Bruins, where they were able to keep San Jose hemmed in for a while.
Yeah, 2 or 3 shifts. I'd say 3 shifts, actually, for the Bruins, less for their San Jose because they couldn't get off the ice on a couple of occasions. But, you know, even when they did that, Ryan, there's, you know, you want to make sure your shot doesn't get blocked. You want to make sure you're not forcing something. You've got a team on the run. They're tired. It's a long shift for them. They can't get off on the line change. You got to make smart decisions in the offensive zone. It's kind of managing the game, right? You know that you've got a team trapped. You can just tell. I mean, you're sitting around the bench. You know, you see guys that can't get there defensively, and they're just trying to keep things on the outside. So you don't want to get that shot blocked. When as soon as it got blocked, and San Jose clears the zone, they get they get fresh bodies on the ice. But that's nitpicking a little bit. But it's still, you know, kind of the game management where good teams know that they've got a team on the run, and they make sure that they just keep that possession and make smart decisions in the offensive zone until they can attack. You keep those guys out there, keep them on their heels. But they stick with it. They take advantage, the Bruins do, of a mistake made by San Jose. Simple dump in. It's a play that's made all the time. Goaltender goes back behind the net, plays the puck. He's going to go dish it off for his defenseman, but he waits a little too long. Georgiev does. Maybe he didn't have Desharnais wasn't there quite in time, but, you know, probably wants to make a different play there because Kepke's right on him as soon as it happens, and Kepke pries that puck free. And now before Georgiev can get back in the net, Middlestats got himself an open net. A couple breakdowns for the Bruins defensively. One led to a goal, by Eklund. Nice passing play, but it was a breakdown by the Bruins. They had 3 guys back on the play. Could have defended it a little bit better with a smarter decision, without the puck, reading the rush. But you also had your goaltender in Korpisalo come up with a couple good saves. The best one was probably on Toffoli in front, and he got that pass from Graf over on the right wing side, and he was alone in front, so it was a little breakdown by the Bruins there. But I mean, it's been a pretty even game, right? Your shots are 16-15, it's 1-1, and there's been some good saves by both goaltenders. Haven't been a barrage of chances by either team, but both goaltenders have been sharp when they needed to.
I talked with Joe Sacco before the game today, and I asked him about Korpisalo and the season that he's had, and he talked about how it's not an easy job that he's got because of the lack of playing time throughout much of the season. He's playing behind Jeremy Swayman, who's is clearly the guy here, but Korpisalo making his 21st start of the year, and he said, he gives us a chance to win pretty much every time he gets in there.
Most nights he does, yeah. So, for Korpisalo coming in the trade, you kind of have to change your mindset a little bit. He's been a starter, he's been a backup, he's been kind of a 1A, 1B type of goaltender. But when you come to Boston that Swayman's probably going to see the majority of the starts. So the mindset to make sure that you're ready on a nightly basis, even though you're not getting 2 out of 3 starts. You're getting paid well. He's not making elite goaltender money, but he's getting paid well to be sure that he's ready to go and give his team a chance to win whenever he's in the lineup. And if his play dictates that he should play more, then he should. But they also know that, especially moving forward, if you're moving forward to next year, hit the reset button if you're Jeremy Swayman and, you're ready to play right from the start. You're not battling through a contract dispute through training camp. You've got the guys in front of you have a different mindset when they're hitting the ice next season because you're hitting that reset button. You hope that that's the case because he'll see the majority of the games. Now, do they want to rethink how many games? Is it 2 out of 3? Is it 3 out of 4? Is it, whatever? That's something that management and coaching staff have to think about moving forward if they want to rejig kind of the configuration. Because when they had Allmark here, it was basically, every other game for the 2 goaltenders. It was very rare that one would run with a few games. This is a much different circumstance. So they may want to rethink that and talk about that, but at the same time, it's going to be a different set of circumstances when the season starts next season.
It's 50 for Swayman right now and 21 starts for Korpisalo as of tonight through 71 games. Bruins and Sharks tied at 1 after 2. Time for our music of the game, brought to you by Live Nation. Don't miss Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Eric Clapton live at TD Garden September 16th with special guest The Wallflowers. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Check the out-of-town scores next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Happy Monday.
For real?
Yeah, my Mondays feel a lot better since I found an amazing therapist.
Ugh, jealous. I really need to find a good therapist, but I don't know where to start.
Find and book the right therapist for you on ZocDoc. Look, the patient reviews say that Dr. Taylor is super compassionate, she's in network, and available tomorrow.
What would I do without you?
Probably look for a new job.
You've got options. Download the free ZocDoc app to book today.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nature makes the best antioxidants. That's why Nature's Way added superfood antioxidants to your Alive multivitamin. A powder blend of carrot, pomegranate extract, blueberries, spinach, and apple extract delivers 10 milligrams of polyphenols per serving. That's in addition to your daily dose of essential vitamins and minerals. Shop formulas for women, men, and adults 50 and older. Find your Alive multivitamin, now with superfood antioxidants, at your local store.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between, it's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo! And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Back here in San Jose, after 2 periods of play, the Bruins and Sharks are tied up at 1. We'll take a look around the NHL. Finals from earlier today, Rangers 5-3 winners over the Vancouver Canucks. In overtime, it was Dallas taking down the Flyers 3-2. Minnesota comes out on top against Buffalo 4-1 the final there. St. Louis continues to be hot, 4-1 winners over the Chicago Blackhawks. In overtime, Calgary 4 and the Islanders 3. Kings take down the Carolina Hurricanes 7-2. Bruins will play the Kings tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Eastern time. Washington 6-3 winners over the Florida Panthers. Ovechkin blanked on in that game. 6-4 Utah defeats the Tampa Bay Lightning. In a shootout, it was Colorado 5-4 winners over the Montreal Canadiens. Ottawa 3-2 winners over the New Jersey Devils. Nashville takes down Toronto 5-2. Wild one in Vegas. Vegas Golden Knights 6-3 winners over the Detroit Red Wings. In the third period, Edmonton has a 4-3 lead over Seattle. Here, after 2 periods of play in San Jose, Bruins and Sharks tied at 1. Third period action coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub. This is a black and gold flashback.
One of the absolute blue bloods in college hockey. These Black Bears are in hibernation no more. They're back on top of Hockey East.
Yeah, in lieu of our black and gold flashback tonight, we're flashing all the way back to last night at TD Garden. The Maine Black Bears win the Hockey East Championship for the first time in 21 years. Congratulations to them. They will be part of a slew of Hockey East teams that are on their way to the NCAA tournament as well. So congratulations to my partner Bob Beers, a Black Bear alum. Congratulations to Jeremy Swayman, Maine alum. My old talk show partner Mike Flynn, Maine alum. Surrounded by you guys. But a big one for that program, and well-deserved honors as they beat UConn last night. 5-2 was the final.
Yeah, our first one at UMaine was back in 1989. We lost in 87 at the old Boston Garden to BC. Lost in 88 to Northeastern. We were ranked number 1 at the time. Northeastern upset us at the Boston Garden. And then 89 was the first year that Boston College had their new arena, which is still there.
Right.
I don't know what it's called. I'm not sure right now, but it used to be Conti Forum.
But
I don't know if it's Conti Forum.
Kelly Rink at Conti Forum.
Okay.
Yep.
And we beat BC in the Hockey East Finals in 89. That was the first championship for UMaine. And they've gone on to do some good things since. Dipped a little bit for a while, but it's good to see them back on top.
Should mention, by the way, we're in here in San Jose, coming out of that Hockey East tournament, the Sharks signed another one of their draft picks, Cameron Lund out of Northeastern, second-round pick a few years ago.
You're going to see a number of guys signing of teams that are out of it.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be announced tomorrow. The tournament, who's in, who's out,
right,
and where the seeds are and everything else.
Bruins attacking down to our left to start this third period as they get the puck in deep. It'll wrap around near side. Zadorov pushed it back down toward the corner. Pasternak trying to chase after it. Have to hold it to Foley there. They'll come across the ice. Geeky back across Pasternak. Didn't get that much on the one-timer, but Georgiev still make a pretty good save.
I don't know if Pasternak was shaken up or he just couldn't really get himself in a position to get that really good shot away. Still got a lot on it, but not like he usually does.
Yeah. Yoki Haryu's pass through the neutral ice missed everyone, and that's going to be icing.
Making some equipment adjustments over on the bench right now, but that was a good opportunity.
But Cam Lund is, after 3 years at Northeastern, will join San Jose. Supposed to get here tomorrow. He's going to join a slew of Massachusetts natives in this organization. Will Smith, Henry Thrun, who's not playing tonight, he's injured, from Southborough. Lund from Bridgewater originally. Colin Graff from Lincoln. Head coach Ryan Warsofsky, Marshfield native. Mike Greer, the GM, local guy as well.
You mentioned Henry Thrun. His father and I grew up together in Buffalo, New York.
Is that right?
Played hockey together, yeah. David Thrun ended up moving out to Massachusetts, and Henry was born here.
Harvard kid. Puck comes through into the Boston zone here. Check along the far side by Peak. Knocked down Eklund. Koepke will bang it off the far boards and out through neutral ice. Minute and a half into this third period of a tie game. Sharks come back in with Celebrini trying to throw one to the net, directed up and over. Far corner, Smith able to get to a free puck. Wrapped back around near side by Eklund. Chased down in the near corner by Lorai, who takes a hit from Celebrini but moves it up ice. Bruins will go for a full change here. Puck angled into the Boston zone, but Giles couldn't get a piece of it, so that's an icing against San Jose.
Yeah, it's hockey season's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
So an offensive zone face-off after the icing. Minute 57 into the third. Lindholm will take the draw. He's got Lysell on his right. Usnadinov on his left. Face-off win. Wotherspoon played it down toward the corner. Wrapping in behind the net. Lindholm able to get position on it into the near corner. Trying to feed one back, but that was blocked. Still locked up along the near boards. Lysell got it back to Callahan, and his shot. Georgiev put the stick out toward it. In the far circle. Desharnais. And puck into the neutral zone. And as Kovalenko tried to drive it deep, puck out of play.
Said fairly even game so far, right? Scores tied, shots are similar. Both teams have generated a couple good scoring chances, not a ton, but some. Both goaltenders have been dialed in when needed.
And both goalies have made some good saves at times tonight.
Georgiev, his gaff, partial gaff like on the Middlestat goal.
Jokiharju plays it down into the San Jose zone.
Wasn't all on him, but some of it was. It's just something that you take for granted when it's done right. The goaltender goes back, plays the puck.
There's a chance here for the Sharks coming toward the side of the net. Ostapchuk, but knocked in behind by Jokiharju. Battle for it in the far corner. Beecher had it for a moment, but then lost it. Sharks keep it alive. Liljegren stepping in from the right point. Balco blocked his effort. Behind the net, Beecher. Zadorov got it to Jokiharju, and he'll lift it high into the air, and a little backspin on that one as it stops in the San Jose zone, shy of an icing. Bruins get a change. Mukamadulin to Liljegren. Cross-ice pass was redirected. It'll get deep now into the Boston territory. Korpisalo sends it around toward the far circle. Pasternak will back it up to Peak. In the near corner, Gorai had it taken away by Graf with the centering effort, blocked by Geekie. Now it came back to Graf from the near circle. Geekie got a piece of that centering pass. It came back to Toffoli, and his shot got through. Korpisalo made the save. Mukamadulin from the point, put one wide on the glove side.
He came out the other way. Peak alertly grabbing that puck.
Wrap back up the near wall. Wenberg at the hash marks here for the Sharks. Mukamadulin over to the far side and thrown toward the net by Ferraro. Ricocheted back toward the near circle. Wenberg to Mukamadulin. Shot tipped by Graf, and a nice stop by Korpisalo. Covers it up.
Yeah, the Bruins should have been out of the zone, though. They had that puck. They made a couple smart decisions. They rotated back around, and then one bad pass and a turnover, and now you're stuck inside your own zone, and you have to defend, and all it takes is one tip this way or the other way, and you get a 2-1 game. Should have been out of the zone, should have been off the ice on a line change. But the Bruins ended up turning that puck over, and now they got to defend.
15:55 left here in regulation. 1-1 our score. Puck blocked up in the near corner of the Bruins zone. Middlestad's pass bounded away from Koepke, with Terry racing over to the far side to make sure it gets out of the zone. Sharks in possession. Cagnoni's pass through the neutral ice missed everyone, and that's an icing. .15:38 to go here in the third. Bruins trying to get back to 500 with a win. Austin Vegas dropped them down to 30-31-9 in 70 games this year. Casey Middlestat with a face-off of the offensive zone. Sharks win that draw. Coming behind the net, Cagnoni. Off the far boards. Keep by Koepke. Come back in deep. Jump past Georgiev's stick as he went behind the net to play it. Now Smith under pressure from Middlestat. Forced back behind to Desharnais. Up the left side, Eklund tapped it forward, but the Bruins have it back. Zadorov angles a pass through neutral ice, finds Middlestat in across the line. Here's Zadorov off a cross ice pass, left circle shot, save made.
Tried to get Georgiev leaning off that short side post.
Zadorov
good give and go, right?
Yeah. And going back and forth across the ice with a give and go.
Yeah, but that gets the D moving.
Yeah.
You know, that gets the whole defensive side of things moving. Up a long cross ice pass from Zadorov to Middlestat, and then join the rush. Don't sit there. Don't wait and be lazy in the neutral zone. Get yourself up on the rush, which he does, Zadorov. gets the return.
Bruins on the attack here. Wotherspoon over to Callahan at the left point. High slot to Lysell. Moves it out toward the blue line. Turns and fires. And a glove stopped by Georgiev. Draws the whistle.
Yeah, I like the movement, right? Through the neutral zone. Long pass through the seam. And then jump up into the play. You know, Middlestat has choices there. San Jose's back in pretty good shape. But Zadorov, you know, with he's a good skater. And when he's a powerful skater, especially like everybody, right, at the beginning of shifts. As the shift goes on, he gets a little,
legs get a little heavier.
But yeah, I mean, he's a big, big body to pull around the ice. But he jumps up into the play there, gets that return.
Puck will come back through the neutral zone toward Boston's end. Mason Lohrei circles back behind his net away from Giles. Bounces one up the far wall. Usnadinov at the red line. Plays it into the middle here. Lohrei cutting down the left side. Stops at the top of the circle. Pivots back toward the blue line. Walks it toward the far side. Hands off for Peak. Straight on shot just wide on the stick side. Near wall. Usnadinov rushes out to get that puck, but forced out of the zone first. Lifted right back in on the attack. So we're under 14 minutes to play here in regulation in a tie game. Beecher near circle. Usnadinov. Back to Callahan. Now Wotherspoon throws one in front off Georgiev. Near circle. It'll be lobbed out of the zone by Delandria. Wotherspoon gives chase, and
wow,
they waved off that icing.
We usually, you know, make fun of the defenseman sometimes for slowing down. Wotherspoon went full flight on that thing.
He was still going, yeah. Beecher got it deep. Bruins go and get some changes on here. And now the Sharks struggling in their zone. Pasternak gets hauled down by Ostapchuk. No call.
He's still pulling himself up off the ice, coming back into the play right now.
Zacha from the near circle.
He's going to the bench.
Yeah, a little slow in getting onto the bench as well.
Yeah. Training staff coming down to take a look at him.
Lohrei gives it to Zacha. Coming up across the line into the attack zone. Deals off to the right circle. Geekie misfired on a shot attempt. Lohrai's got it now at the left point. Over to Wotherspoon. Banks it deep here for Zacha in the far corner. Challenged by Mukhamadullin. Geekie gets involved as well.
Yeah, Pasternak was shaken up a few shifts ago too.
Yeah.
That shot that we talked about, the one-timer. He didn't get any attention when he went to the bench there, but he's down at the end of the bench right now.
Shudder to think where this team would be without him. He's backhanded deep here by Wotherspoon. On the far side, Beecher will get it deep. Far corner, Patrick Brown in after it. 12 minutes to go. Batted around. Nobody can seem to find it. Now they do. Graf will play it into neutral ice. Batted ahead by Toffoli. Sharks getting some changes on. Wotherspoon will bring back to the red line and dump in. All the way around the boards. Angled back behind the net. Desharnais. Around the near side. Smith had a jump past him. Koepke got it to Zadorov. Middlestat from his own blue line turns up ice with speed. Up across the San Jose line. Right circle. Deals it back to Jokiharju at the right point. Steps to the right of Eklund. Sends it down the boards looking for Middlestat. Middlestat got it out in front. Came all the way back to Zadorov. Zadorov's shot goes wide on the far side. Lettieri. Got back into the near corner. Koepke turns away from Smith. Lettieri drags it out onto his forehand from behind the net and forces Georgiev to make a save from in tight. Stoppage with 11:03 to go here in the third. 1-1 our score in San Jose on the 98.5 The Sports Hub. Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
Happy Monday.
For real?
Yeah, my Mondays feel a lot better since I found an amazing therapist.
Ugh, jealous. I really need to find a good therapist, but I don't know where to start.
Find and book the right therapist for you on ZocDoc. Look, the patient reviews say that Dr. Taylor is super compassionate, she's in network, and available tomorrow.
What would I do without you?
Probably look for a new job.
You've got options. Download the free ZocDoc app to book today.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CRV. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CRV.
See dealer for financing details.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between. It's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Fans, a 50-50 raffle presented by DraftKings is currently benefiting the Boston Bruins Foundation and Dream Big, an organization that empowers girls and young women from low-income backgrounds by providing equipment, sports attire, program fees, and leadership training to help them participate in sports and physical activities. To support the Bruins Foundation, dream big, and enter for a chance to win half the jackpot. Visit bostonbruins.com/5050 to purchase your tickets. The winner of that 50-50 raffle will be announced during the third period of the game on April 15th. We've got 11:03 to go here in the third period. Bruins and San Jose tied at 1. Face-off in the offensive zone here for Morgan Geekie. Pasternak is back out there after getting checked out on the bench. And Geekie wins the face-off, but it comes right out between the two defensemen and all the way back into Boston territory. Peaks pass, picked off the near wall by Toffoli, got it down in behind the net, and a chance for Wenberg on the wraparound, came right through the crease. Pasternak along the far side against Toffoli. Sharks able to win it back. Wenberg from the right circle. Axel on the wall, gives it back to Mukhamadullin. Onto the far circle and right back to him, and the one-timer goes up and over the net. Toffoli off the far wall to Ferraro at the left point. Behind the net, Graf let it go. Wenberg in the right corner. Mukhamadullin at the blue line. Top of the right circle, Wenberg. Deals it down low to Graf. Steps in behind the net away from Peak. Into the far circle. Centering pass blocked by Lohrei. Backhanded again deep. Toffoli kept it moving behind the net to Wenberg. Wenberg trying to center. It bounced off the skate of Lohrei. Peak able to play it away from the slot. And now Lohrei lifts it up into the air and gets it out of the zone. Pasternak feeds it ahead. He's got Geekie up the left wing side trying to get it to Pasternak, and it was blocked in the slot.
Oh, it was there for him, too. Backhand pass from Geekie. I think it caught the shaft of the stick.
Pasternak from a wide-angle shot. Save made. Georgiev rebound sitting loose in front, but the Sharks will come away with it.
Good chances both ways. San Jose with some good pressure. Got Boston hemmed in their own zone, and then all of a sudden the puck's out of the zone, and it's not a 2-on-1, but it's an open ice rush for the Bruins.
Boston coming from their own zone. Now Jokiharju will turn back against Delandria. Zadorov, Jokiharju, and a pass up ice. Directed deep from center ice by Husnadinov. Around the near wall it'll come with 9:20 to play here in the third period of a tie game. Delandria pursuing into the Boston zone. Jokiharju wins the puck from him. Around the far side, Fabian Lysell. Couldn't chop it out of the zone, but it came back his direction. Now feathers one up the right side. Husnadinov giving chase. But the Sharks will come back the other direction. Delandria plays it in behind Korpisalo and heads off on a change. Lysell on the near boards. Pops it loose here for Middlestat. Coming through center. All the way to the right wing circle. Middlestat into the far corner against Smith. Lost possession. Cagnoni angles it off the near boards, and the Sharks get it cleared. Wotherspoon near the red line with a pass to Callahan. And chopped in toward the San Jose net. Georgiev just plays it aside. Cagnoni will bring the Sharks out. From the red line, a dump in down the left wall. Around the near side. Callahan played it toward the back of the net. Smith poked it out in front, but Bruins survived that. Lettieri deals back out into neutral ice. He's in a race for possession. Puck directed back toward Middlestat. He'll dump it in, and he goes for a change. Back through the neutral zone. Zadorov reaching for it. Couldn't slow it up. No icing here against San Jose. Zadorov going to drag it back through the neutral zone. Pass to the right side for Brown. It took a high hit. Got the puck deep. Sharks, though, right back out. Grundstrom chasing Jokiharju deep into Boston territory. They go into the wall, get tangled up. Puck into the corner, Zadorov. Bear hugged by Barclay Goodrow. Bruins get it cleared. Jokiharju's pass goes all the way down into the Shark zone. Beecher poked it toward that far corner, and it'll be cleared out. Grundstrom lifting one through the neutral ice. 7:15 to go here in regulation.
It's kind of looking like overtime, isn't it?
Puck dumped in by Lori. Got a little too much air under that one. Sails out of play. Well, we got 7:09 left in regulation to figure it out. 1-1 our score here in San Jose on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
Ready to prioritize yourself in the new year? Your skin is a great place to start. Dime Beauty, founded by a master esthetician, is more than just a skincare company. With 4 skin-conscious categories, skincare, beauty, body care, and fragrance, Dime offers simple, spa-worthy products that will help you enter 2025 with confidence. Whether you're revitalizing your regimen with nourishing products or building one from scratch, Dime makes it easy. The Work System, our all-in-one best-selling routine, includes a cleanser of your choice, toners, serums, and moisturizers, taking the guesswork out of skincare for your healthiest, happiest skin yet. Dime's commitment to clean ingredients and sustainable packaging ensures every product is as gentle on your skin as it is on the planet. With thousands of glowing 5-star reviews and a loyal community, the results speak for themselves. Revive your skin and give yourself the routine refresh you deserve by visiting dimebeautyco.com. That's dimebeautyco.com. Your best skin awaits.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online, 98.5thesportshub.com.
We're going to run one game with 7:09 to go in the third period. The lone goal from Casey Middlestat for the Bruins, assisted by Cole Koepke. And with that helper, the Shaws and Star Market Foundation donates another $100 to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more about Feeding the Puck for families at 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck. This is the last game standing out of the 14 that were played on Saturday around the NHL. Now Sunday, back in the East Coast. Thanks to all those of you staying up late with us tonight, wherever you may be.
Quick turnaround for tomorrow, right? LA Kings, big winners over Carolina earlier today. They'll be sitting and waiting for the Bruins tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific.
Mason Lohrei inside the Boston zone. Will play it up ice. Here's Pasternak. Wheels one across ice. Peak jumping up on the right side. His shot gets blocked and goes sailing up and out of play.
Fans Wellpoint is proud to honor our hometown heroes all season long. This week they're honoring David Testa from the North Andover Fire Department. To nominate someone making a difference in your community, visit 985thesportshub.com/heroes today.
The rest of this road trip tomorrow in LA, as you mentioned, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 Pacific. And a couple of days off before the Bruins take on Anaheim on Wednesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern. And then a couple more days off before they play in Detroit on Saturday night. That's an 8 o'clock face-off.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep us on the road an hour or two longer.
An extra day and an extra couple of hours, right?
6:25 to go here in the third period. And we're going to get a icing here against San Jose.
Can never complain about the schedule, because then you start talking to the Western teams and you realize just how much worse they have it.
The travel is unbelievable.
We were talking to the other day, was saying that, I can't remember who it was, they play a game and, it's Bruce Cassidy. Because they go play one game in Dallas. So it's a different time zone.
Right.
It's one game.
2 time zones away.
It's 2 times, and it's not close.
Right. That's not a short flight. Zadorov's shot gets blocked here on the far
we don't
side.
have it. I mean, rarely do we have that.
Well, it feels like the Western teams, when you see them, they regularly are, out east for 5, 6, 7 games in a row.
When they do the, there's some studies and for how many miles each team travels each year. And it's either like Vancouver or San Jose. I don't know if it's changed since some of the other teams have come into the league, but I think it was Vancouver and San Jose who traveled the most. My guess is Seattle's going to be up there now too. So I haven't seen one recently, but they do the most miles.
It's a wide angle shot turned away by Georgiev as Yoki Harju was all the way down into the corner. We get under 6 minutes to play. Tied at 1. Sharks coming up ice. Wildregren dealt off to the left side. Eklund just inside the Boston zone turns with it. Heels down low. Celebrini behind the net to Smith. Fires back across. Celebrini left circle. Dusted it off. Took the shot. It got blocked. Smith near side boards. Lost it over to Zadorov. Lysell couldn't get it out of the zone. Turned it over. Deflected back across the ice. Settled along the far wall by Carlson. Toward the back of the net. Zadorov got it to Husnudinov and out of the zone. 5:20 to play as it gets dumped back in. On goal. Glove down by Korpisalo. Drops it back into play. Bruins moving from right to left on offense. Dump in by Lettieri. Around the near boards it'll come. Back around to the far side. Lettieri chasing it into the corner. Puck came free onto Giles. Through the neutral zone. A bouncing puck. Knocked aside by Callahan. Back into the corner it comes. Callahan in there after it. Wotherspoon far corner. Lifted off the boards and up into neutral zone. Middlestat swings it into the middle here for Koepke. Cutting toward the right circle and a shot partially blocked and then gloved by Georgiev. 4:41 to go here in regulation. 1-1 in San Jose on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
4:41 left here in the third period. Bruins and Sharks tied at 1. Circling back to our conversation a second ago. Unofficially this year, Bruins have traveled over 39,000 miles in the air so far this season. But they are going to rank by the end of the season 17th in total distance. The Dallas Stars are number 1 this
Dallas,
year, with the Florida Panthers 2, Anaheim 3rd.
Interesting.
Over 56,000 miles on the schedule this year for the Stars.
And that's to this point, or is
that's for the entire season schedule? That was put together before the season. This graph angling towards
that's a good
net.
speed. Lori was able to poke that puck away.
Here's Toffoli with a low shot. Korpisalo sticks that aside. Lori will start the Bruins up ice. To his own blue line. Dzaka coming through the middle. Off to the right side, Pasternak got it across to Geekie on his backhand. Got it over to Lori for a shot that went wide.
Nice passing play, nice setup.
Now a long pass ahead to Toffoli back into the Boston zone, and Lori coming back to swat it away in front of the net with Eklund bearing down. Zadorov from behind the Boston net. Off the near boards, turned over at center ice. Liljegren will bring it back in, just onside. Carries down the left circle, in behind the net. Into the near corner. Now Eklund trying to stuff it in along the near post from behind the net, and save made by Korpisalo. Celebrini out of the blue line. He shoots it off the end wall and off the back of the net. Will Smith out of the far corner. Eklund threw it in front off of Zadorov with Celebrini on the back door. It went just wide. Now a dipping shot from the point. A rebound, they score. And the Sharks take the lead with 3:23 to go. Lucas Carlson able to knock that one in.
Yeah, Carlson, the defenseman, he's going to get the rebound, but it's just good pressure here by San Jose. Was this offside? I think it might be offside. This is going to be close. The Bruins are looking at it right now to see if they should challenge. Because when they reloaded and came back in the zone, as soon as it happened, I was like, ooh, that's close. The shot comes through from the point, and Carlson's going to get the rebound. May have gone off of Lori before Carlson got to it. We'll see if the Bruins are going to challenge here.
If it stands, Lucas Carlson, playing in his first NHL game of this season, would get the goal. His last NHL action was back in November of 2022 as a member of the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, the referee giving the Bruins
ample time.
Joe Sacco, they're going to call a timeout to take a closer look at this. The video coaches mark it as soon as it happens, but this one must be really close because otherwise they'd be right on top of it. As soon as it happened, I wasn't sure.
That's offside.
I think it's offside. Just on the replay that we just saw.
Yeah, that looks offside.
But you got 3:23 to go. You don't want to roll the dice either. You want to be sure. And does he have possession of the puck? That one was brought up recently, which is just, it's crazy to me. It's common sense says, yeah, he has possession of the puck, but if the stick isn't on the puck, I don't think they're gonna challenge.
Wow. We talked about this the other day. You know, the GMs had a meeting down in Florida this week, and one of the major topics of conversation was reviews and goaltender interference and whatnot.
Did you see the highlight that they showed in that when they were talking about that? What's possession and what isn't? If you don't have your stick on the puck, they say that that's not possession. It's bizarre to me.
So the Bruins do not challenge, and so the Sharks have a 2-1 lead. And now Boston will have to try and come from behind here in the final 3 minutes as they get in across the line. Lysell from the left circle had a shot blocked.
Keeping an eye on Korpisalo now.
Digging for it in the corner. Lysell able to play it around to the far corner now, and Lindholm reversed it back around the near side. It got past Husnudinov. Zadorov against Smith along the near wall. Now Husnudinov to the back of the net for Lindholm. Trying to get a backhander in front. That's forced off into the far corner by Carlson. 2:43 to go. Lysell on the far boards. Still 5-on-5 for the moment. And now the Sharks clear. Rolling puck comes all the way back into the Boston zone. Stops just shy of icing. 2.5 minutes to play as Pasternak picks up the puck from behind the Bruins net. Brings it up the left side. Trying to play it deep. Angled back toward the neutral zone. Lori to Peak over on the far side. 2:15 left. From his own blue line. Peak fires it off the near boards and deep. Georgiev stops it to the back of the net here for the Sharks. Trying to rip it around the boards. Pasternak pulled it off the wall. Got it out in front looking for Zacha. And it was broken up. Graf will backhand one back toward the Boston zone. And we're under 2 minutes to play. Korpisalo has not made the move as of yet. Bruins inside their own zone with the puck. Lohrei will start out from behind his net. Up the right side and through the middle. Fired off to the left side here for Middlestat. Lost it.
Korpisalo was halfway to the bench.
Yeah, had to go back. Zadorov comes back behind the Bruins net once again. Comes out to his own blue line. Skates toward his left. Gets through Eklund. Gets it in across the line. There goes Korpisalo. Extra attacker comes on. And the Sharks looking to clear, and they do. Pasternak, who had just come on, had to leap up and glove that one down to keep it from heading toward the empty net. It'll come around the near side of the Shark zone. Zadorov able to get it back in deep from behind the net. Desharnais off the far wall. Jokiharju threw one toward the net, blocked off of Letteri. Jokiharju's got it back at the blue line. Over to Pasternak, a one-timer. That one knocked down in front by Carlson.
Yeah, hit him.
Sharks clear it. And they score. Gaudreau puts it into the empty net with 49.8 to go.
Yeah, that shot hit Carlson. He actually had his back to the shot, but he was around the front of the net. Pasternak got a lot of that one-timer. Hits Carlson in front. San Jose comes up with the puck. Push it into the middle as the Bruins try to pressure. And Gaudreau has clear sailing from the red line in.
So a 3-1 San Jose lead, as they're on the verge of their 19th win of the season. For Barclay Goodrow, that is goal number 5 on the year, snaps a 20-game drought for him. Andrew Peak behind the Bruins net. Now Geekie. Deals left for Lohrei. Geekie from the Boston blue line, skates to the red, dumps it in. Georgiev knocks it off the dasher behind his net. 25 seconds to go. And Lohrei keeps it at the blue line. Bouncing puck comes across the ice, and now we get a whistle, and the puck was touched with a high stick. Stops it with 19.7 left.
My last read in here, Ryan. Bruins hockey is brought to you by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions.
So 19.7 seconds to go. Bruins net is empty. Face-off just outside the San Jose zone. Geekie wins the draw. They quickly get it across the ice to Pasternak along the near side, but taken away and thrown down toward the empty net, but wide. It'll be icing against the Sharks with 10.7 seconds left. And Bruins are going to lose their 5th in a row here tonight. Dropped to 2 games under 500 for the season. Zacha on the face-off. Puck forced toward the near boards. Sharks just looking to eat it and let the time run out. And it will. San Jose with a late goal by Lucas Carlson. And then an empty netter takes a 3-1 victory tonight here over the Bruins. We're back with a recap next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between, it's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo. And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard. Bamboo HR is easy. Ready to simplify all your HR tasks? For a limited time, get a $100 Visa gift card when you complete a free demo at bamboohr.com/gift card. Again, that's bamboohr.com/gift card. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here in America, work is in trouble. We've offshored our manufacturing, sent away good jobs, and lost so much ability to make things. American Giant is a company that's pushing back against this tide. They make high-quality clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more right here in the USA. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com. Promo code STAPLE20.
Everybody's talking about inflation. At Ocean State Job Lot, we've been fighting inflation for 48 years. Spring hinged reading glasses at your favorite drugstore are $20. Buy them at Job Lot for $3. $20 sunglasses, $5. Designer sunglasses, $7. Looking for American-made disposable aluminum bakeware? Save 70%. If you're a gardener, you can purchase burpee flour and vegetable seed anywhere. At Ocean State Job Lot, we sell it at 40% off. We haven't even mentioned crazy deals where you can buy things for free.
You've been hitting the gym, taking the stairs, and running that extra mile. But did you know that improving your health is also a step toward lower life insurance rates? At SelectQuote, we make sure you're rewarded for your healthy lifestyle. For 40 years, we've helped more than 2 million customers secure over $700 billion in life insurance coverage. And our healthiest customers are covered by the time they hang up with an experienced licensed insurance agent. That's right. Qualifying customers can get up to $5 million in life insurance with no medical exam required. A medical exam can add weeks onto the approval process for life insurance, but our exclusive no medical exam policy ensures you're covered by the time you hang up. Plus, many policies are less than $1 per day. Being fit doesn't just feel good, it pays off. See what you could save on life insurance with SelectQuote. Go to SelectQuote.com for your free quote today. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Station.
Eklund threw it in front off of Zadorov with Celebrini on the back door. It went just wide. Now a dipping shot from the point. A rebound, they score. And the Sharks take the lead with 3:23 to go. Lucas Carlson able to knock that one in. 3-1, the Sharks win it over the Bruins here as Boston has dropped 2 in a row to start this road trip. And, just one that got away there late as, it looked like this one might be destined for overtime, but the late goal by Carlson.
Sure looked like it. Carlson, poaching in from the point there, but it was good pressure by the Sharks in that shift. It looked like it might have been offside. I'm very curious of where Joe Sacco and his staff stand on that one right now, because there was a little bit of talk of dialogue on the bench. Should we challenge? Should we not challenge? And they've been spot on that challenge, the offside challenge, all season long. So just curious of what he might have to say here post game. But yeah, it's 1-1, pretty even game. San Jose makes one more play in that third period, right? I mean, the Bruins didn't have a lot of great chances in the third. They had a couple, but not a ton of them. And the Sharks put some pressure on, and they get rewarded with a goal. It was a shot that I don't think it made it all the way through. It looked like it went off maybe a Lori, and that's why there was a rebound there. And Carlson was a recipient there, and he's able to chip it home, and basically an empty net on the backhand. First goal for him in a Shark uniform. So. Look, we knew it wasn't going to be easy, and it doesn't matter who you're playing against. And, San Jose's fewest wins in the NHL coming into today, well, they get one against the Bruins here today in a game that could have gone either way. and it goes in San Jose's favor.
And a quick turnaround. Again, a tough opponent coming up tomorrow as well against the LA Kings. Time now for tonight's Lexus Amazing Play of the game. Wotherspoon to center ice. Dumps into the left corner. Heads off on a change. Georgiev backhands it toward Desharnais. Lost it and they score! Casey Middlestat able to knock that one home after a misplay by the Sharks, and the Bruins tie it at 1. Cole Koepke helping to make that play and gets an assist on Middlestat's second goal as a Bruin. Our Lexus Amazing Play of the game presented by the Lexus TX. Whether you're the passenger princess, a new set of twins, or even the family dog, everyone travels in luxurious comfort in the Lexus TX. We'll wrap things up from San Jose next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Arm yourself in the fight against aging with NAD Plus Cell Regenerator and Resveratrol Elite. NAD Plus helps our bodies produce energy at the cellular level. Resveratrol helps encourage heart, mind, and cellular health. We've combined these age-fighting nutrients in our best-in-class formula to help you promote healthy aging and cellular energy. So, fight father time at the cellular level with NAD Plus Cell Regenerator and Resveratrol Elite today.
When you're in HR, it can feel like nothing is easy. From payroll to PTO, from onboarding to benefits, and everything in between, it's a constant juggle of tasks, systems, and spreadsheets. But your HR software? That's the easy part. Meet Bamboo HR. Trusted by over 34,000 companies, it handles all your HR tasks, payroll, benefits, and time tracking, so your team and your company can grow as fast as, well, Bamboo! And Bamboo HR software is actually easy to use. One simple system that pulls all your people data together in one place, so you can ditch scattered systems and wasted hours on tasks that should only take minutes. Because when HR is easier, you can focus on what matters most, your people. HR is hard.